No, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
No,
on
real life
Madden.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Madden, bro.
Oh yeah, Madden. Yeah.
I'm good.
I think what happened last week, I think it took a second for Zoom to get the echo suppression. So. All right. Where you go? We're gonna introduce the couch. Fuck your couch, nigga. Classic. Oh, there it is.
Kevin Durant is in fact headed to Brooklyn to join DeAndre Jordan. Katie out for the season, but the future still looks great.
I'm hoping the defense that I figured out against you works against the Ravens.
It won't.
Why not?
Because it would all depend on your linebackers and how quickly they can keep the gaps from the angle, or if you have here's extra pressure coming in from the edge.
So here's the thing about that defense, because it's a 2-4-5. Even though it's only 2 down linemen, technically, it has all 4 of my linemen. So it's Myles Garrett on the right side.
All right, you ready? Q.
I'm good.
All right, cool.
And then it's my and then my linebacker sitting gap.
For those of y'all listening right now, that's Madden Talk. Y'all make sure y'all check out the league. I'm gonna actually do a full promo in a minute. But this is what we do, bro. All right, let's get this thing started. Where's that? There's a I hear a TV or something.
Like baseball.
It's gone. Nah, it's gone.
Nah.
Yeah, that was
it's always the one that don't say anything.
Yeah. Let me turn this TV down real quick. He was gonna say I ain't hear it either.
All right, cool. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inch. Joining me on the show, we got FIFO 24/7.
What it do?
Nikki Duce.
AKA it's your boy.
BZ 430.
What up, though?
Delton J.
What's happening, man? What's happening?
And we got a guest this week. This ain't one of Shelton's guests, y'all. I know he normally does this. This is not one of his, but this young brother, man, you see before you hit me up on Twitter, man. Sent me a DM, wanted me to check out his podcast. I listened to it, and they sound like they got a little promise to him, you know what I'm saying? So, and y'all know I try to give back. I try to listen to stuff when I can. So yeah, we rapped on the phone for a hot minute one weekend, and I invited him on the show, man. So I want to introduce to you guys Q, right?
Yeah, Quincy. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
appreciate y'all having me on, man. Like I said, podcast.
Yeah. So before we get into the show, just go ahead and give people a little bit of background. Tell the people about your podcast, how long you've been out, and just where they can find you, all of that good stuff.
Okay, so the Q&E podcast is a sports and entertainment podcast. Our main purpose is just to entertain and inform. So we give you sports news every week, entertainment news every week. And we also have our fan favorite segment now, which is Social Media Wants to Know, where you hear all of our good debates. Unfortunately, my boy Eggert couldn't be on. That is my co-host. So shout out to my bro Eggert. So we just go back and forth at it every week. And where can you find us? You can find us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1 and Instagram at Q_and_E_podcast. And we are coming up on damn near a year now. Though. We started in October of last year. So we come up on a year. So I want to say 9 months that we've been doing it. So yeah, definitely come check us out.
All right. Well, our fans, man, they'll let you know.
They'll let you know real quick. If they fuck with you or not.
all feedback is needed, man. So definitely.
They were like, get this nigga off the damn
Yeah,
screen.
they were like, I fuck with y'all, but leave that nigga alone.
And you say your boy's name is Edgar, like Edgar Martinez?
Edgar Martin. His name is Martin. Funny. Edgar Martin. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Dang,
I was thinking of Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. That's who he named after. Yeah.
He's named after Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Like, is he white?
Is he a Ravens fan? Nigga, shit.
Nah. His dad was named after Edgar Allan Poe, but he's a junior, so he named.
Oh, he's a junior.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn, a modern day Edgar. You don't hear about that.
You don't hear a lot of Edgars, man. Call me E too. I'm Ed.
I said, call me Martin. Call me Martin, Mom.
Call me M. Call me M. Damn. Anyway, man. All right, cool, man. Appreciate having you on the show. We're gonna go ahead and get into it.
All right. I ain't gonna bury the lead, as we're known to not do on the show. So we all. Oh, that's what we do. Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks have acquired Jamal Adams in a trade with the New York Jets. That's the biggest blockbuster news out of the NFL since Patty Mahomes got his contract signed. The Seahawks had to give up 2 first-round picks, one this upcoming 2021 draft and the first round in 2022. And they also gave up a 3rd round in 2021, I believe. And they got back Jamal Adams, of course, and a 4th rounder. And they gave up, what's his name? They gave up their safety. I think Bradley McDonald or something like that.
McDougal.
Yeah. So my question to y'all, was this who won this trade? Pretty much.
Of course, Seattle.
Seattle did.
Yes, Seattle.
Seattle, hands down.
Yeah, Seattle got the
because
best
you think about you giving up first rounders in this year. We may not even have college football this year. So in saying that, we really don't know what this draft class is going to even look like. So I'd rather take a chance on Adams, which he's going to be a monster. He's going to come out there with something to prove and roll with him. He just fits that mold. That's filling in for Eric Thomas and what they lost with him.
I
think that's pretty big.
Even if we were to have a college season, there's nobody in this draft or the next draft that plays like Jamal Adams. And because of that, they won the trade. And even though you're giving up a 2nd first-round pick, it doesn't bother me, mainly because who are you gonna get again in that 2nd round or that second first rounder that's gonna be better than Jamal? And then you're gonna have to eventually pay that person if that person does pan out. So to me, you're saving salary cap space. You got another draft pick in this upcoming draft, even though it's a 4th rounder. Seattle has done a pretty decent job of finding overall talent, even though I would say that their roster outside of the big names is something left to be desired. They really haven't, progressed a lot of lower tiered guys. But at the end of the day, Jamal, you put Jamal Adams with Bobby Wagner,
bro.
That's in Madden or in real life. That is a problem. That's a major problem.
What you think about this trade, B?
Yeah, I mean, I think it sets up nice for Seattle, man. I think Seattle, and I'm just looking for as a couple of years later, because I think Shelton said it, we ain't even gonna know how this draft class is gonna look coming in, because we don't know if we're gonna have a college football season, so we don't even know how the seniors or the juniors or the potential NBA draft players are looking. So I think at least for this trade is good for at least next 3 to 4 years, which is good in football. It's good in NFL. That's like 10 to 12 in NBA years. You know what I'm saying? So I think Seattle got a great deal in that trade, man. And that's gonna be, man, you just add more weapons along with Russell Wilson to do whatever, on the defensive side, offensive side. I think Seattle is gonna be a team to be scary for an NFC for the next 3 to 4 years, man, easily.
And B, a little bit to your point, bro. Look at who they play in that division. George Kittle is regarded as a top 2 tight end.
Yep.
And you got a guy that says, "Hey, look, take this guy to play."
Yep.
That man,
take him out. Yep. I want you to say it.
Not even just him. Yeah. He's now got D Hop. in Arizona with the Cardinals.
But Jamal Adams isn't going to line up directly with D Hop, but Jamal Adams is going to lay some wood.
Exactly.
D Hop don't come over here no more.
Yep.
He ain't getting no big plays. That's what he's there for.
Exactly.
That's going to be dangerous, FIFO. Yep. That's going to be dangerous, bro.
Yep.
Q, what's your thoughts?
Man, I think this was a win for both teams. Honestly, being that the Jets just needed so many pieces on their whole team entirely, man. They just need pieces. So getting 2 first rounders, you fill in a safety spot with somebody like a McDougal, who is pretty solid in my opinion. And what else they got in that trade? It was 2 first rounders and what else? I thought it was
a third round.
The third rounders. I think that was great. And being that they just brought in a new GM, so he's trying to rebuild from the ground up, I think it was great for the Jets as well. But yeah, just like everybody said, it's great for Jamal Adams. Just that back end in general, bro. You got Shaquille Griffin, shout out from the Bird. You got Trey Flowers. And who got Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, but something that they need to happen, something that needs to happen is they need to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. If they really want to go to a Super Bowl, they need to re-sign Jadeveon Clowney. You don't have to pay Jamal Adams right now. You can wait until next year so he can get his money. Re-sign Jadeveon Clowney for a 1-year run at a
1 year.
1 year run. That's all you need, because as we seen in the regular season last season, they were the toughest matchup, I think, for San Francisco. So if you bring back Clowney and your secondary is shored up, and just like people said with the Kittle aspect and Kittle and Jamal Adams, I think it's a good matchup on both sides, man. I really do.
They almost won the division. They was a game away from winning division, and that redefines the whole playoffs and who comes out the NFC, to me at least.
Well, hold on. And Q, you made a really good point about the Jets, and I've been saying it multiple times whenever we bring up this topic, because at the end of the day, when your team is so inept, you need to bring in young, cheap talent. And to give 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick, and 2 of them in this upcoming draft, even though we may not know how everybody pans out, right, in this draft, regardless, they need bodies, and they need guys that can play, and you need as many of those guys that you can possibly get. So this is why, and I agree with you, Q, it is good for both teams. Obviously, better for Seattle, because you're getting the sure thing. We know what Jamal Adams is. It ain't no question about it. You have questions about draft picks because obviously you got to pick the right guys, somebody that you may have coveted with right before you, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, the Jets need bodies. They just don't have it. And they got to be able to protect Sam Darnold, because I don't think Sam Darnold is a bust. If you look at the last 7 games, I want to say they went 6-1 in the last 7 games. And who the hell is he throwing to? He looked like Carson Wentz out there throwing to nobody, because they only got that one speedy receiver. What's his name?
He left. He went to Carolina, bro.
Robbie Anderson.
He went to Carolina.
He's in Carolina.
Yeah.
So they need to protect them, and they need to get them some weapons. The defense is decent enough even without Jamal Adams to do okay in that division, but they need to help Sam Darnold, because I think they do got their guy. It's just he looks like trash because everything around him is super trash.
Can you want to go before I go? Because I feel like I'm a.
You go ahead.
All right. So who won this trade? Obviously Seattle, because they got the best player. However, they overpaid like a motherfucker to get Jamal Adams. When I see DeAndre Hopkins, who is to me, I'd rather have Hopkins than Jamal Adams on my team, just based off of.
It depends on your team.
But I'm just saying in general, they gave up a 4th rounder to get D Hop. Stephon Diggs was hold on, I'll let you speak.
Okay, you're right.
Stephon Diggs, he was given up for a 7th rounder. Why the hell am I giving up a guy who's still on his rookie deal 2 draft picks? Now the draft picks, I'm not really that big on, because like y'all mentioned before, this next draft, we don't know how the hell you're gonna be able to evaluate talent. So those picks mean nothing at this point. I'd rather get players. And I had that kind of mindset going into it. You rather have what's guaranteed now than what's possible later. However, those are 2 first-round draft picks. And even though Seattle has not been picking well in the first round, they don't know how to pick late. All their big hits came in the top half of the draft.
Russell was in top half.
Not all of them, but most of them, as far as that defense, which y'all said won them that first Super Bowl, was in the top half of the first round. So for me, it's just like, you didn't have to give up that much. You could have, like, he already cussed out the coach. He said the coach ain't shit for real. He don't talk to us.
He really did.
And he also, and that's not something that's really that egregious, because in Miami, they said the same shit. So this ain't no trade for the Jets that was like, oh, we need bodies. It was this nigga talking out of line. He already coming at the head coach. We got to get him the fuck out of here, and we hope we get a ransom with it too. And that's what they got.
Nah, Nick. This okay. So first of all,
did they not overpay for Jamal Adams?
No.
Okay.
So you made the whole D Hopkins thing, right? The only reason why D Hop went for a 4th round is because Bill O'Brien don't know what the hell he's doing on his end. So the Cardinals just took advantage of that. That's all that happened. Jamal Adams, 2 first rounders is a little steep. However, when you're looking at Seattle, they're in win now mode. And a late first round pick isn't going to necessarily help them out like that. It'll help out the Jets more than it helps out Seattle. Seattle, like I said, they got George Kittle, right? And a lot of other big bodies. The NFC likes to run a lot. They have been a completely different team. And it wasn't because of Richard Sherman. And it wasn't even because of the big hitter, Cam Chancellor. They've been a different team ever since Earl Thomas got hurt. When Earl Thomas went down, that he was and as great as Bobby Wagner is, what makes that defense formidable is a range safety that can play the pass and can come up and knock people out. Earl Thomas was that. Jamal Adams is that. That defense is going to be transformed. They were good. Now they're one of the top 5. That's the difference.
But my thing is this: did you have to give up that much to get Jamal Adams?
Yes, they did, Nick. I think that what you're doing is comparing it's apples to oranges at that point.
How is it apples to oranges? Because we're talking about top players.
Because when you look at like even the Patty Mahomes deal, he didn't set the market with that deal. That was a deal that was kind of like on its own.
And I think he was a fool for that too.
Same thing with but nobody else is going to get a deal like that. Same thing with D Hop. That was just like you said. That was just Bill O'Brien being a dummy. That had nothing to do with the market and how you judge trades, because nobody's gonna give up Jamal Adams.
But let's not act like Bill O'Brien is the only dumb GM in the NFL history. He's not. Tons of dumb GMs in NFL history. What I'm trying to say is, did you have to give up two first round picks and a 3rd rounder for a guy that already cussed out his team, who depreciated his value in the open market? What are we talking about here?
Because you saw like with when Dallas tried to get him and everybody else, they've been trying to get him. Jets told them they were standing pat.
And why did Dallas not do it? Why did Dallas not do it? Because they wasn't trying to give up 2 first round picks.
Correct. But Seattle is like you said, they're in a win now mode, and they're in a position to do that. Plus, they thought about it like, will a 21 through 28 pick help me as much as Jamal Adams? No. They're thinking about what Earl Thomas did for that team. And that's what they need.
And I'm saying this: both teams made this trade out of desperation. One team was trying to make this trade to win now, and one team was trying to make this trade to get a nigga off his field. That's all it was. Now, I'm not saying that this won't have benefits for one side or the other. Obviously, Jamal Adams is a top 5, top 3 safety at his position, whatever you want to say it. However, again, when we talking about value, I'm not trying to put too much value on draft picks, but got 2 first round picks.
Yeah.
Like I said, these
FIFA, you talking about they best player came from the 4th round. So it's just like, or 3rd round. So it's just like, nigga, like.
So if that's the case, then why do they need the first?
Exactly.
If they ain't so great.
That's right. That's why they don't.
Because you didn't. I'm saying it's not about the first round pick itself. It's more about I didn't have to give that up anyway.
To get Jamal Adams.
Yeah, they did.
They could have gave up a third. They could have gave up a 2nd and a 3rd in this year's draft, and a 2nd and a 3rd in the next year's draft. Where the fuck if they had those picks? I don't know the Seattle's picks like that over the next 2 years.
The Jets set the market. The Jets told them what they wanted. They told them what they were gonna have to do. Otherwise, they would just stand.
But he just cussed out the coach not too long ago. That market
can't
be coming at me like that with that type of player. You can't be asking for all that for me.
He'd been sitting over there like Le'Veon was for the year.
But Le'Veon got signed nonetheless, did he?
But what is Seattle's culture? They want outspoken people. Richard Sherman is very outspoken.
Do they?
Everybody on that
team who was outspoken is where they at now.
But because they got old.
No. Richard Sherman was in the Super Bowl last year.
And he's old as hell, getting burnt by everybody. I know. I saw that.
What's his matter rating? Hey, look.
The
perception is he's not old.
They giving him a lifetime achievement
award for perception is he's not overrated. He's not old.
Y'all listen to
y'all be arguing like y'all a married couple, boy. I tell you.
I'm just saying, like, again, the point that I'm making is did you have to give up that much?
Yes.
And I'm not saying the first round pick at the bottom of the first round, or having a first round pick at the bottom of the first means that much. It's just more of like, okay, it may not mean that much, but I didn't have to give it up.
Look, Nick.
And I would say this, Nick. Minka Fitzpatrick only got traded for 1 first-round draft pick, and we see that he's a top 3 safety in the league right now. So that's something that I would piggyback on. Like when it comes to this trade, 2 first-round draft picks for somebody who's like on the same level as Minka Fitzpatrick when he came out of Miami for only 1 draft pick.
Exactly. It's like, again, you gave up hella to get a guy who, again, is still on his rookie deal, which helps you, but still, he's still on his rookie deal.
But Nick, you're not taking into account the rest of that roster and where they are and who they have to play to accomplish their season goals.
And that's
their season goals aren't let's just make it to the playoffs. Their season goal is we got to win championships.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, a late first rounder is not going to help you more than Jamal Adams. 2 late first rounders isn't going to help you more than Jamal Adams. So it's the price of winning a championship. And sometimes you have to overpay and other people's opinion to get what you need to get shit accomplished. And that's what they had to do.
And to me, that shows the signs of a bad GM.
No,
hold on.
You use a very wrong word. You use desperation.
It is. That's what I was about to get to, because you laid it out.
It's not desperate. How is that not? No, it's not desperate. You know why?
How?
It's not desperate on either end. Number one, it's not desperate on the Jets' end because to Q's point, and that I agreed with, they need bodies. They need as many as possible. And they just got 3. They got 3 guys that are going to come in
a pandemic draft.
But it doesn't matter.
Nobody's ain't even gonna play till what, 2022.
You know, but they knew that. But basically, they knew they weren't gonna get the best Jamal Adams they could get.
Exactly.
So that was best for them to get rid of him. But
exactly.
On the flip side of that, the Seahawks need Jamal Adams.
And why do they need that? Why do they need Jamal Adams, Sheldon? Because they've been making the playoffs after the Legion of Boom,
but
right?
They haven't won nothing. Have they been to the Super Bowl?
Exactly. And because of that, the late picks they get haven't panned out in the first round. That's what I mean by desperation. They haven't been picking well with the picks they've had. So they say, fuck it. I'm going to trade these shits anyway for a nigga that's a guarantee. Because I can't.
How is that desperate?
That's smart because you don't trust your own GM.
But that's smart.
No. That's just saying we're in win now mode. We know that's the one piece we need to contend. So let's make the move. It would be a different thing if they were a couple years away. But the position that they're in, they could win it all next year with this guy. This guy could be the difference in them winning the championship or not.
100%.
So that's why you make the move. It's not really desperation. It would be desperation if it was more of a gamble. I don't think.
How is it not desperation when they're trying to squeeze out the most of Russell Wilson because they know he's the best thing that's ever going to happen to this franchise for today and the near future. Okay. They haven't been picking good in their first round to supplement or substitute that defense that they lost because they've been making the playoffs, so they're just good enough but not great. And then on top of that, they just overpay for a safety who's still on his rookie deal.
But you also know what that means, that if they keep making the playoffs and they have late draft picks that they're not really
gonna, and that's when I don't trust the GM.
Then I would say that because of those 2 things, then it makes sense to get a guy who is an elite talent that you wouldn't be able to get in the first place. Because the value is not in first round picks in 21 and 22, it's in Jamal Adams.
Let me ask you a question, Nick. So if Jamal Adams was in this next draft, where do you think he would be picked?
If we could guarantee that it's a Jamal Adams, he'll be a top 5 pick.
Right. So they know, like Ken just said, they know they're not going to get a top 5.
Yeah, but why did I have to give up a first round pick if Mika? Why did I have to give up 2 if Mika went for 1? Why did I have to give up 2 when
Jamal is better than Mika?
Why did I have to give up 2 when Stephon Diggs went for 7? Again, a GM who hasn't replaced that Legion of Boom well enough to get this team over the top. Because even though they're competitive, they have a bad offensive line still. They just got DK Metcalf when Russell been asking for a receiver.
And what round was he, Nick?
He was a 2nd round pick. Okay, what are you talking about? He was a late. Basically a late first round pick.
The overall arching.
You know who their first round pick was? Rashard Penny, that running back. Is he changing the game for them? No.
He added to the backfield.
All right.
Look, at the end of the day, Nick, like you said, there's no team that's perfect. Right?
Okay. We're just gonna gloss over Seattle.
No. I'm not gonna gloss over nothing. Just listen to what I gotta say.
Right.
No team is perfect.
That's a great take, FIFO.
No team is perfect in the sense that they have O-line, D-line, secondary linebackers, wide receivers, quarterback. Who's that? Nobody got that. Every team is gonna have some type of weakness. And because Russell Wilson is as mobile as he is, you know what? Maybe we could skip on an old lineman or two
Maybe.
to make sure we get the Legion of Boom 2.0. Make sure we get a Jamal Adams. Make sure we could pay a Bobby Wagner. Make sure that we could pay KJ Wright. Make sure that we got enough salary cap for Jadeveon Clowney. And Russell, you know what? You great. And we're going to put it on display, bro. We're going to need you to use them legs because we're going to pay you for them like they did for you to overcome our biggest weakness, which is their O-line. Because no team is perfect.
Hey, Nick, I looked at the 2019 draft to see who they picked, and they're not even using these picks.
Yeah.
So they traded their first-round selection, their 30th pick last year to New York, to the Giants, your team, in exchange for New York's second, fourth, and fifth-round selections. They're not even using these picks. And they just got a player that's way more valuable that they want.
My thing is, what have been
something they haven't even used?
We know Russ.
Not bad.
This team does not move. We can't hear you, B.
He's on the phone.
Be on mute.
Oh, shit. Oh, my
Be
bad.
on mute.
But I was saying, like, again, the last two trades have been what for defensive players, right? Jadeveon Clowney and now Jamal Adams, and they've given up picks for those two players. They have not given up a big pick or they haven't even cared to really address the offensive line to protect their most valuable asset.
And they've been doing that with draft picks because in 2018 they drafted Rashad Penny. They didn't draft
and they should have done a lineman. But I'm saying what I'm saying. Like it's incompetent. Like we said on this show we was gonna come out GMs more and head coaches more so than players. But again, I agree this is a good trade for Seattle because they got the best player.
I think your criticism is misplaced because you're talking about what they could use those picks for, which are linemen. Historically, what I'm seeing is that last year they traded the pick so that they didn't even use it. And in 2018, they drafted a running back. So if you want to criticize the GM for not making good decisions, you can look at that and criticize him for that. It's there. So when you're saying that they need offensive linemen, and when I look at their draft selections in the first round, they haven't been taking offensive linemen. So you're arguing for something that they're not doing anyway.
I'm calling it out. That's what I'm doing.
But that doesn't make this a
How does that not make any sense? I'm telling you, with these picks, you could address the offensive line, right?
They haven't done that.
And that's a problem.
That's a problem for the previous drafts. But if the history shows that they're not using those picks to draft linemen, which you're advocating for, then
I'm just calling out incompetence because you didn't have to give up that much to get Jamal Adams.
Yes, you did.
Who's at a position that does it on a defensive side is not even top two.
But on
the defensive side, free safety means that much more than the air rush.
If that free safety is that damn good, yes.
Yes, because Rashard Penny stays hurt. The last year pick they didn't even use. So if you look at the last two picks, say for instance, if this trade happened in 2017. And they traded the 2018 pick and the 2019 pick for Jamal Adams. We see that in 2018 and 2019, they traded one away and they drafted Rashard Penny. Which would you rather have?
I'd rather have an offensive lineman.
They didn't pick offensive linemen, though.
That's what I'm saying.
But they did not pick them. That's what I'm saying to you. So if they did not pick them and we look at what they did pick, what is better? Jamal Adams or Rashard Penny in a trick you traded away?
How does Jamal Adams help Russel Wilson?
I'm asking you which one is better though?
Field position.
No. The ball back.
Field position.
Nah, I'm not. Field position.
Yes.
How?
Defense is part of field position. The more tackles for loss,
the more defense
you get, the more 3 and outs you get, it flips the field for the offense in their favor. Field position, bro.
Jamal Adams have
you played football?
I'm asking you this one question.
Did you play football?
Did Jamal Adams have good field position with the Jets?
Let me ask you a question. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you.
I just asked you the question.
Nick, did the Legion?
You said he top 3 in his position. He brings field position. I'm asking you what field position he brings to the Jets.
Nick, did the Legion of Boom help Russell Wilson?
Yes. Is Jamal Adams going to be? Is the Legion of Boom back?
I'm answering your question.
Are you saying?
I'm answering your question.
So they Legion of Boom now. So I should expect the Legion of Boom.
You said, how does he help? And you just said that the Legion of Boom helped Russell Wilson. Therefore,
you're comparing Jamal Adams, this acquisition, to now them being back to
I'm saying this is. I'm saying we don't know the future. We haven't seen it.
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to get clarity, bro.
And I'm giving you clarity because if this could be the Legion of Boom part Deuce or part Trey, whatever you want to call it.
Deuce, part, so is what, Junior? Is Legion of Boom light? You don't say Legion of Boom as a legendary all-time defense. Well, you don't just toss that shit out, Ken. Well, I'm asking you for clarity.
And I'm telling you, I'm giving you an example of something that happened in the past that helped Russell Wilson and how Jamal Adams can help Russell Wilson in the future.
So you don't see how a first round pick can help as an offensive lineman in the future, but you can see Jamal Adams winning games for the Seattle Seahawks.
He's asking me, and I see a history of the Seattle Seahawks not taking first offensive lineman in the first round.
And I seen the history they can't replace the Legion of Boom either.
And here's the thing, Nick. Like I said, right, no team is perfect, and their weakness is O-line. Russell Wilson can overcome that. Obviously, he's overcome that often. Even against the San Francisco 49er front seven, he could put up 30-plus points. So you know what? We don't need to worry about that. We need to be able to stop that run game over there that they got going on. We need to be able with Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella and now D-Hop and Larry Fitzgerald and Kenyon Drake over there with the Cardinals. We got to be able to stop all that. Who else is in that damn division?
The Rams.
The Rams. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they are not the same. They are not the same. But they still have an offensive-minded head coach with a quarterback that can get the ball deep. I don't know what the hell they look like. I'm not putting them at that level. Who's the last team? Is that all? That's all the teams, right? So with the other two teams that are the two better teams than the Rams in that division, right? You gotta be able to match up and play defense, bro. And the offensive line in the future, when Russell Wilson can't run like he runs, then we gotta invest.
So you're gonna wait till Russell Wilson breaks down to address the offensive line? Are you kidding me?
There's a salary cap. There's a salary cap.
Is the Chiefs doing that with Patty Mahomes? They gonna wait till he break down before they fix the offensive line?
The O-line is already decent.
They on the phones right now trying to get a right guard because they right guard said, I'm out of here.
The O-line was already decent. It depends on how your team is structured and made
your assets, do you not?
And I understand that.
Man, the last time the Seattle Seahawks drafted in the first round was in 2012.
What was the last Super Bowl run they had? Was that 2012? Yeah, that makes sense.
What Q? What'd you say?
I said, was that the last time they drafted the old lineman in the first round?
No, or just the
Yeah, Bruce Irvin was the draft pick.
That was a defense. Yeah, that's defense. All right. Well, you heard it here. They wanted to trade the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see how that. We'll see the Legion of Boom 2.0.
Well, they had one in 2016. They drafted a guard, Jermaine.
Did they draft L.J. Collier last year? L.J. Collier out of TCU?
I'll let you know in just a second. Jermaine Ifedi, who was a 31st pick, which was a guard. Would you rather have him or Jamal Adams? Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. We got all night.
All right,
we ain't in a hurry.
Get the fuck out of here, Nick. Get out of here, bro. Come on, man.
And then, of course,
if anything, to protect Russell Wilson, which is my biggest investment, my biggest asset, the only reason why I'm relevant in sports.
Do you understand that football is two sides of the ball? It's actually three. It's three. It's three sides of the ball. And at the end of the day, I understand about protecting your investment. But do you?
I don't think you do.
I do.
Because you just said I wait till Russell Wilson break down before I
actually, in 2019, in the first round, the 29th pick, there was a lot of trades. I don't know what they did, but they did draft a player. It was L.J. Collier, who was a defensive end. The first time they picked a guard in 2019 was in the fourth round.
In the fourth round.
But you know what?
So
let's be honest.
I could get Jamal, if I'm not picking guards, offensive linemen in the first round, then I don't see value in offensive linemen in the first round. Therefore, I'd rather get.
And also, Nick, tell me if I'm wrong, because I know I'm right. But you be on your other stuff. How many old linemen drafted in the first round are all-time greats? The majority of old linemen that are all-time greats weren't even picked in the first round, bro.
That's the draft in itself. What you're talking about? It's a gamble, right?
So why pick late in the first when I can get something guaranteed?
I want to see you care about Russell Wilson more than you have.
But drafting at that shows that you care.
Yeah, I was gonna say drafting the offensive lineman at the 21st or through the 28th pick is not caring for Russell Wilson. Those guys aren't your all-pro.
That's not making an attempt, though. You're not even making an attempt to care.
But you're making an attempt to win a championship.
They always draft defense.
So you're making this move proves that we are win now. And for Russell Wilson, so you mean to tell me that Russell Wilson don't feel the love in Seattle? That's what you're telling me.
He got paid. Hell yeah, he feel the love in Seattle now. But is he gonna feel the love on the field? He feel the love at the bank. They paid him all that money because of why? you could take these sacks. You're gonna get rushed. You're gonna get clipped up. And what if Russell, God forbid, he gets hurt? Then what?
If he gets hurt, he gets hurt.
Then what Jamal Adams gonna look like?
But
it's gonna be the Jets of the West.
It's just like any top Jets of the West. It's just like any top 5 quarterback that'll get hurt. If Aaron Rodgers get hurt, you think Jordan Love gonna go in there and do something?
Hey, Jordan Love,
you talking shit about Jamal Adams and you over here hating Jordan Love?
We don't know Jordan Love. He could do.
Get out of here. Get out of here with
He's
that.
still on his rookie deal too.
Get out of here.
He ain't worth all that though.
Get out of here with that, man.
All right. Well, let's go to the other team, the Jets, because I feel like you mentioned this earlier, FIFO.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a boom or bust year for Sam Darnold or Adam Gase?
No. Adam Gase, a little bit more so. I think he's a little bit more so on the hot seat, but for Sam Darnold, no. And I've mentioned this in previous episodes, man. He don't have nothing. He literally don't have nothing. There was some film. There's some people on YouTube that I watch that break down film, and they kind of show you the things that, GMs and coaches and people that sit down and watch film and evaluate. And what you saw from Sam Darnold's O-lineman and also from his weapons on the outside, tight end, wide receiver, and all of that, nobody is where they need to be. Rovers, what was the speedy wide receiver?
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah. He ain't like going across the middle. He didn't like no type of middle routes. He's outside. Let me go deep on some people. They didn't have a complement to what Sam Darnold could do. And I'm not saying that Sam Darnold is the most perfect quarterback in the world. He did have some mechanical breakdowns, but part of that is because—
Is that mono you talking about, or is that something else? Was that the mechanical breakdown? Was mono?
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about in the pocket, steps, see you putting the ball where it needs to be, looking downfield and stuff. Part of his mechanical breakdown is because, and when he said he sees ghosts, he's getting hit. So I think schematically they need to get better, which is offensive coordinator and head coach. They need to draft better weapons and or make move for weapons and O-line. Like that whole offensive side of the ball is atrocious. And his name is not Russell Wilson. He can't overcome a lot of those things. So with that being said, that's the reason why I like the trade, because now you're getting more bodies in there because they need talent. Like that's like when you look at the Dolphins, right? People thought that they were crazy for trading Laramie Tunsil, one of the best up-and-coming left tackles. You talking about O-lineman? He's at the premier spot on that O-line, and they traded him. Why? To get more picks. They traded Michael Fitzpatrick. Why? To get more picks. Because now you can get a Tua. Now you can get another O-lineman. Now you can get more defense. That's where the Jets are at. And in all honesty, if I'm the Jets, I ain't winning nothing for the next 3 to 4 years. So you know what, CJ Mosley, you can go too. And everybody that has any type of value that I could get multiple first rounds, multiple second rounds, multiple third, all y'all can go. And it's not that I don't love y'all or y'all not great players. It's just that you by yourself ain't gonna do nothing for everything that we got. You can't make up all of these holes that we have.
You saying Sam Darnold, a top 3 pick, can't make up for this team, what this team is lacking?
Because it comes down to skill set, Nick. When somebody like Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson that have legs, obviously your O-line can be a little bit worse for a little bit longer because they can overcome that because of skill set. Sam Darnold is more athletic than people want to give him credit for, but he ain't those guys at all. He's not mobile in that way. He's mobile in a way like a Mitchell Trubisky way where you can move the pocket. You can run play action boots and things like that. But he's just not going to ad-lib a play for 15 yards. He ain't the young Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers can't do it like that no more. But he ain't the young Aaron Rodgers that could go run downfield for a 15, 20-yard run. And Sam Darnold is not that. So because of his skill set, it doesn't allow him to overcome those deficiencies on the offense.
We're going to see what he is, though. We really need to see. I think this year will be telling to really see what Sam Darnold is. Just like Baker Mayfield, same thing. They don't get enough.
100.
They don't get enough flack for not being where they need to be. I think it's time to see where he should be.
That's because they ain't black.
That's what I was gonna say, Ken.
That's exactly why.
Everybody, when I hear FIFO talk, Colin Cowherd, they say the Jets organization is just so bad, it's been doing so shitty that we can't even really evaluate Sam Darnold. We can't even really understand who he is or what he does, even though he said he see ghosts, even though he caught mono when he's over 18. Like, what the fuck? Like, Sam Darnold ain't shit. All right,
he finished 6-1.
You want me to?
He finished 6-1. What?
So
He finished 6-1.
And that's what I'm saying. This Sam Darnold ain't shit for him. Why would I waste? Because people question the Giants for not picking Sam Darnold. Why the fuck would I waste a top 3 pick who's supposed to be a Hall of Fame pick? You have Hall of Fame expectations for top 5 picks,
but not
that's
everybody.
Expectations,
but that's
though.
not everybody.
That's why you pick a top 5. So
everybody.
a top 5 pick, especially as a QB, he's in his 3rd year, and we still hold on, wait and see. Who else do we give a lease like that to? Is Deshaun Watson get at least? Did Lamar Jackson get a lease like that when he came in as the first round pick? We was critical of them motherfuckers early on before they even played.
James did get one. Marcus Mariota did. Well, no, he got one.
You got a pass?
No, yeah, he got passes.
He got passed like
his rookie year. That's it.
Nah, he got
after that on his ass.
He still gets a pass today. But anyway, y'all see Le'Veon Bell and Jamal was going at it too.
Yeah, he said week 14. I see.
Yeah.
Week 14 is noted.
Well,
hey, all I know, if I'm Le'Veon, I don't want them problems, man.
All I know is week 14 gonna be week 41 because COVID gonna wipe all that.
Right.
I'm about to say, had this energy about that.
Hey, that shit gonna be March 3rd and shit.
They gonna be happy to be alive. They gonna hug each other. He said, "We made it, brother." But nah, I don't know. To me, I asked like, what year, like, who is gonna have a boom or bust? Like, what does this year matter between Adam Gase and Sam Darnold? I think Adam Gase is out the building. I think that's already been said with this trade and the fact that they got a new GM. GMs always like to have their guy.
No.
I think Adam Gase is out the building because I don't think Sam Darnold's gonna do shit this year again.
He should be. Like, he should be out.
I agree with that, but I don't think the trade is indicative of that. Because if that case,
no, not the trade. I'm just talking about the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying like as far as like who is on the hot seat more, Sam Darnold or Adam Gase. I'm saying
they're gonna get rid of Adam first.
They get him. Adam Gase is on the hottest seat, but Sam Darnold was right there with him.
I think we can be looking at a Josh Rosen situation where they bring in somebody that's better than a Sam Darnold. If they have a top 2 pick this year and you got Justin Fields and you got Trevor Lawrence, are you gonna stick with Sam Darnold or are you gonna draft like one of the top 2 or 3 QBs? It's like I think I would ride with a Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields over a Sam Darnold and trade Sam Darnold away. I think that's what we could be looking at with the Jets. Or that's what I would do if he doesn't perform this season.
I don't know about that because I don't see the market for Sam Darnold to be that high. Everybody got their quarterback really, or if they don't got their quarterback, high.
It could be like 2nd, 3rd round pick because he has promise and he's a white quarterback. So they always gonna give at least a 2nd round pick for that. I feel.
Q coming with the conspiracy theories. Hold on, let me see what it is. Or Quincy.
But how come? Let me ask Shelton this. How come the Jets they don't get criticized as much as the Giants, even though the Giants won 2 Super Bowls within the last 10 to 15 years?
Because the Giants won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I think that
but that should give you more time to get leashed.
Because they suck, Nick.
I was gonna say, the Jets have always been kind of the whipping boys, so they're kind of used to that. The Giants are the premier team in New York. You think about New York and you think about football, you think about the Giants, not really the Jets. So that's kind of how the Jets fly under the radar and keep getting, skipped over like that. It's nothing to do with anything else other than that. The Giants, like you said, they won the Super Bowls, so they were in the spotlight. They had a Manning on the team. They had, Odell for a while. So they've always had like the premier side. The Jets are like they're like the little brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of
it ain't fair. Danny Dimes should get more praise. That's all I'm really trying to get at. All right.
They are the Clippers of the NFL past, not this Clippers team, but the past Clippers. You know how the Clippers used to be treated in LA? That's kind of how the Jets are.
Danny Dimes.
It's a legend. He's a legend. It's a legend, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
So you rather have Danny Dimes over Sam Darnold?
Hell yeah.
I don't know about that, Nick. That right there is
I'd rather have Danny Dimes. Wait till y'all see Danny Dimes. Whenever the NFL come back. I don't care if it's 2030. Bro, Danny Dimes is getting us. Yeah, he's taking us to the promised land.
Sam Darnold is way more talented than Danny Dimes.
100.
You ain't seen. Have you ever seen a performance out of Sam Darnold that you did in Danny Dimes when he played the Bucks?
I've seen Sam Darnold play. He can play the game.
I'm talking about as an overall quarterback, like athleticism and touch and poise.
Yeah, he got more arm talent than Daniel Dimes.
Yeah, man.
Than Daniel Jones. He got way more arm talent.
I got my criticism.
Tom Brady ain't have all the arm talent in the world. He stole one.
I got my criticism of
arm talent ain't everything.
I'm not saying it is, but it's more than Daniel Jones. I know that.
Well, speaking of arm talent,
my glasses work.
The Chiefs just Patrick Mahomes obviously signed that big contracts, but the Chiefs have a big loss this year. They lost their team doctor and their right guard at the same damn time to COVID-19, but not because he got it, but because he voluntarily quit. FIFA, I think you sent us in our group chat someone else who left the receiver for the Ravens.
Yep.
Basically said they're not coming back this season because of COVID. Will this be a huge impact on the Chiefs, Beezy?
Say that one more time. He was breaking up a little bit.
Oh, the Chiefs lost their right guard to because he basically said he's gonna sit out this season because of COVID-19. He don't want to risk it.
And it's guards are replaceable. I mean, if it was a tackle, I think, if it was a tackle, that would be a little bit more serious because, mostly, especially the left tackle is to cover that blind spot. So mostly guards, I think guards are a little bit more irreplaceable than tackles. Tackles are definitely more valuable because, they covering those edges. You covering those edge rushes from the ends. So, I mean, I thought they signed someone though. I thought I saw the Chiefs sign someone to a 1-year deal, like an 8-year vet. I can't remember his name. I should have looked it up. But I think the Chiefs have signed someone to kind of replace him. But I think, it ain't nothing to be scared about. I mean, yeah, he's definitely a valuable right guard. But like I said, that's on the right side. So at least it's not nothing that's protecting his blind side. I think the Chiefs will be all right. I don't think it's nothing to hit the panic button. Like I said, as long as it's not the tackles, one of those key tackles, then I think he'll be all right. I think the Chiefs will be fine. And plus, Patty, my homeboy, he's mobile enough. I think he'll be good.
Yeah, he's able to overcome it, Nick. And I think that when you have mobile quarterbacks like that, every team is gonna have a weakness, right? A place on that defense or on that team that just isn't as strong as other parts of that team. And when you have a mobile quarterback like that, I'm not saying that you could skimp out on the entire offensive line, but one or two guys that ain't that good, give me a second and a half. Just put a body on this guy. We'll be all right. And Pat Mahomes, we've seen it, man. With DeForest Buckner all up on him, he threw 50-some odd, 52. I want to say it's 52.7 or 53.7 with just his arm, with no leg. So, bro, when you talking about Pat Mahomes, he'll be all right, bro. The Chiefs are gonna be all right. It's not gonna stop they progress on the road to another Super Bowl with just one right guard missing. Now that whole old line said, "Hey, we all out." We have a different question, but one guy.
That's what I was gonna say. We see.
Yeah.
Go ahead, so.
No, I was just gonna say if it ain't gonna take but a couple. My fear is not that. My fear is more the ones that's gonna come up with it. If you look at the other sports like baseball, for example. Not having a bubble is going to be tough. I don't even think we're going to have a season, to be honest with you. So I don't think it's really going to matter. But like he said, if it was a couple of them that were out, like 2 or 3 linemen, then we'd have a problem.
But do y'all see more players doing this?
Yeah.
Well,
I see somebody from the Patriots do it today. A fullback from the Patriots already left. So I can definitely see it. The closer and closer the season gets.
Like I said, my fear is like more players testing positive. And how are you going to feel with football, like I said, is different than any other sport because there's so many moving parts. So if 3 people are diagnosed on one side of the ball, that shuts down everything. It changes your whole, game plan. So I don't know how they can get past it. I don't understand how they're gonna play a football season. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I feel like that because of how the players were coming at the NFL like over Twitter about the safety protocol and what's the protocol, what's the plan. I think this is probably the tip of the iceberg as far as like maybe even like the court. Russell just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these guys in the league just had kids or like they have a young family and they take care of a lot of people. They could be like, look, shit, I'm not trying to take the risk. And Russell, shit, he is the Seattle Seahawks. So if he's sitting down, fuck all this other shit. Like they may just shut down based on the stars. That's just, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, he's a 79 rating on Madden, so I don't know what that backup guard's rating is like. So y'all listen to the league. Me, Nick, and FIFA talking Madden football on our online franchise.
Shit. All right, that's all I got for the NFL. Y'all got anything else? Mm-mm. All right, we can go to the NBA. Biggest headline at the NBA so far this week, though, I was watching the sports shows, and the media could not stop talking about this Lou Will situation and him. First of all, the media was just talking about the situation itself. Like, I never noticed that people went to the strip club to get chicken wings. I mean, I never heard
They
of
have some good ass chicken wings, though.
I heard they have. I haven't been there yet.
They got the best chicken wing. They got the best chicken wing.
I heard of it. I mean, he was there. Two things could be true. He could be there for the wings or something else. Somebody said he could be there for the wings and the legs and the thighs.
And don't forget the breasts now. Hey. Don't forget the breasts.
But I don't know. Is the media overblowing this whole situation, Q?
Of course, man. But go ahead.
Definitely overblowing the whole thing. I mean, I feel like if he was walking into a McDonald's, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. And like y'all just said, he walked in there for wings. So if he walked in there to a McDonald's and everybody was snapping pictures of him, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But since it's a strip club and the optics of it just look bad for the league, so that's why he got this 10-day quarantine period where it really feels like a suspension. In all honesty, man, when I feel like he really just went in there to get food. He's known in that place. That's really his spot. And he had a good reason to leave the bubble. I think it was his grandfather's funeral or something like that he left the bubble for. So I think he had a good reason. Nobody's really in a rush to get back to that quarantine life and that bubble lifestyle. So I really had no problem with it. I think the media is really overblown it, honestly.
I completely disagree with that. I think, well, let me ask y'all a question because I didn't see him. Was he had on a mask when he was in there?
Yeah, he had a mask on.
Oh, he did. I didn't even see it. But I think that, when everybody in that is asked to be in that bubble and they gave them restrictions and all that stuff, I think that there's rules that you have to adhere by. And the NBA, out of all the leagues and all the pro teams, they're doing the best job of monitoring it and keeping it, pretty much under control. They were doing the best job. So him going off and doing his own thing. Now, what they should have told him, like, we let you out of the bubble, but we need you to keep a low profile. That man could have had anybody go get him some wings. He had to go get no wings and be caught up in the strip club. So I felt like it was just due. You asking these grown men who, I saw it on something where they said it today, and I thought I completely agreed. You're asking these men basically to be celibate and to kind of hold everything down during this time. These millionaires, multi-millionaires who can go and come and go as they please, do what they want to do. You're asking them to hold it down, yet he breaks protocol and go to the strip club. I don't care if you're going for wings or not. He shouldn't have been going there. He should have had his butt somewhere at home, somebody else to go pick up some wings. That was what it was about. But I don't think that's what it was about.
But Shelton, those is his wings. Those he got those is his wings, man.
I get it. But I felt like I said they've done a great job of that. Didn't they have like no positive test the last time that they took it?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so
they're doing it. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, it's me because I'm telling you, I didn't think this was gonna happen, but he broke protocol and he had no business doing it. It looked bad from a person like him because he's a team leader. So that really looked like that was a bad move on his part.
And also, he was one of those Clippers players that was considering not coming back, to the bubble, to not even show up for the bubble.
Was Patrick the other one, Beverly?
Yeah, Beverly was. And I want to say they had like one or two other people too that were questioning the whole bubble thing. So I think on top of that, everything Shelton says, I agree with, but on top of the fact that you didn't even want to come here in the first place and you're breaking protocol, that's just a bad look overall.
So my question is, did he break protocol?
He did not.
How?
He did not break protocol.
He did not.
So he didn't leave the bubble?
He left the bubble with permission.
For good reasons.
He went to the strip club at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So it wasn't even during prime time.
But they working. They working out there. They working in breasts and thighs and legs.
We don't know what was going on in that strip club.
They taking all that.
We don't know what. It could have been family night. All right, game night. It could have been game night at Magic. All right, we don't know what the hell happened. We just know he ate food. Okay. I'm just saying he didn't break protocol at all. Like he followed the rules of the NBA. It just again, like Q said, it's just because it's a strip club. If he was at motherfucking in a McDonald's playpen, niggas wouldn't say shit.
Exactly. Yes, they would.
Yes, they
Why
would.
your big?
Yeah, they would.
Goddamn. With all these damn balls in.
I'm just saying, it's the optics of a strip club, and you thinking about nothing, especially in Atlanta. For the people who know, you ain't thinking about nothing but ass and titties. That's what everybody's saying. Like you got wings and ass and titties.
Ass and titties.
That's what everybody thinking about. They thinking like, how can you be quarantined? How could you be safe with all that in your face?
I need to ask Sam Darnold that.
Lou ain't come home with Mono though. You know what I'm saying? You know how to, again, he over 18. I expect better.
And then Jamal Adams wouldn't have been in the strip club.
Shit, he about at the strip club as soon as he got to Seattle. Dropped down, had a blunt in the motherfucker too. But I think the media is over. They're just I guess because ain't shit to talk about with sports just yet. I mean, NBA just came back. MLB is going through their shit. So it's just like this story is gonna blow up because people love drama in the NBA and they love coming at the Clipper or any LA story is a big story, pretty much anyway. So was it a good look? No.
But how do you feel about the 10 quarantine days? Do y'all feel like that was too steep or was it just
I mean, it's justified based off he took a photo with somebody in there too. So it wasn't like he was by himself. But it makes sense for me because of the atmosphere, and I'm not gonna criticize him for the atmosphere, but I'm not gonna give him and just make it a pass. Like it's not gonna be like you come back like a regular 4 days, even if you haven't been if you haven't been checked or whatever. Like of course you want to follow protocol, but yeah, I'll give him the 10 days. Like you, maybe not 10, maybe like 5, 4. Like he should miss one. He shouldn't miss 2 games. He should just miss 1.
I agree.
But speaking of that, the games themselves, did y'all check out the opening weekend of the
weird
scrimmage
as hell,
shit?
bro? That shit. I watched a little bit of the Lakers and Dallas. That shit was just weird, little fake ass crowd noise and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's gonna take some getting used to. For real.
B, did it feel like Detroit basketball for you?
I mean, I caught some of the Clippers game and I saw Paul George out there getting loose, boy. Paul George was fucking doing work out there.
Not the playoffs, that's why.
Hey, chill out on PG.
That's funny. I'm just saying he was doing work. He was doing work. Joe Morant and Westbrook was going head up. I think that was fun to watch. I think that was it. I think that was the only couple of games I was able to catch. But I'm gonna start watching it this weekend. I mean, we finally about to have some NBA. You know, they're gonna play 12 minutes this Friday.
Yeah, the real games.
Say it again.
They already started back playing 12 minutes.
Oh, okay. So the 10 minute was just like a one game.
That was a 1 game thing, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good. Well, good. So, I mean, look, we still have been quarantined, so that's gonna be good to watch some damn basketball, man. I mean, you know, even though I think they shouldn't have it, but you know, hopefully NBA will do a good job of keeping them players safe, and we won't have no spreading them like that.
Be sitting there watching TV, man. I don't know why these niggas playing this game. They shouldn't be out there. Paul George going off, but his ass shouldn't be out there right now.
He can't help himself.
Hey, Ken,
move on his own, right?
Hey, Ken, I was saying that shit too. I was like, look, his ass shouldn't be out there. Why the fuck he out there? Ken know me too well. You know me too well, Ken. I was like, why did he get his ass on the damn court? Why he out there playing anyway? Shouldn't he be out there with that damn COVID out everywhere?
That COVID sweat.
Right, that COVID sweat. Ken over there crying.
Delta, you been enjoying the games?
I haven't been able to watch a full game yet. It don't. My brother got mad at me for saying this yesterday, but it just don't feel right to me. It just don't. I watch it, and I will. I'm on. You know, when the regular season, I mean the asterisk playoffs start, I'm gonna really start tuning in more. But I ain't got there yet.
It don't feel right. It ain't sheets, bro. They get like shit. It's just sports, bro. It's all we got. CMB.
I know, man. I know. I just hate the way that I think it's the gym. You know, like Summer League is what a lot of people compare it to, but that gym is more lit up. It just looked like it looked like more of an event. This just looked like in the gym. It just looked weird to me. It's just a weird thing to sit there and watch the whole game. You know, so I gotta get used to it.
I think as the basketball play intensifies, I think we're gonna be tuned in a lot more. Like as those games get heated and stuff, we're gonna watch, regardless of how we feel or complain or whatever, saying it don't feel right or saying it ain't supposed to be out there. We still gonna sit there and watch if it's a marquee matchup and we know it's gonna be intense basketball. You know.
Yeah, like B was saying, man, like when players start to go off, it don't matter what's around you. It matters who you're playing against. And there's a level of pride that comes with that. Like if somebody's going off and these guys play at the top level of basketball, like, bro, I'm gonna bring it. And to Celtics, but I haven't watched like a full game. I've primarily just watched highlights and stuff like that, just because I'm not interested with the whole the exhibition ones. I want to see the ones that really count, because like I've been saying, these are top tier athletes, and you get paid to be in your prime athletic shape. And obviously, I know COVID is a little something different, and you may not be at 100%, but they pay you to be no less than 95 to 90%.
So fuck all that shit.
Yeah. So after all that, you know what I'm saying? You when it's time to get back to playing, you need to be at that level where you can contribute. And even if you need a little small time to get ready, I'm cool with that. Like the preseason, like this is their version of the preseason for the restart. I don't care about that. I want to see the games that actually matter. But even going beyond that, I want to take this a little bit somewhere. Did you see the starting lineup that the Denver Nuggets rolled out?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so at center they started Miles Plumlee. At 4 they started Paul Millsap. At 3 they started Bol Bol. At 2 they started Jeremy Grant, and at point guard they started Nikola Jokic. That was their starting lineup in their first exhibition game. They are trying to change the NBA. And I was trying to tell y'all, Bol Bol plus Michael Porter Jr. with that squad, Denver is going to be the new power. I'm not saying this year. I'm not saying next year, and maybe not even the year after that.
Then when are you saying it, then, my nigga?
I'm saying within the next 5 years, they are going to win a championship. And I don't typically say stuff like that. I don't say, oh, they're going to win this. I typically say, oh, you know, they'll be competitive. I like where they're going. No, Denver is going to win a championship, bro.
So, you talking about that one game Bol Bol played, or was it multiple games that Bol Bol played?
I was just talking about the starting lineup that first game that they rolled out.
Because Twitter was having they love seeing Bol Bol put in work out there. He hit a 3 and then blocked the shot. I ain't seen.
No, he blocked the shot, then hit the 3.
Okay, I mean, you know,
I watched it. I'm just saying.
Chicken or the egg. I mean,
no, but there's a difference.
Yeah, it is. No, it is a difference. But nevertheless,
because he blocked it, got the rebound, came down.
It looked good. It looked good.
Jokic was calling for the ball. He's like, "No, bro, I got this."
I just want to say that I was skeptical.
Wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Oh, y'all was wrong.
I'm not wrong.
I was the one that was right. Who was right? Me.
Wrong.
That's who.
All right, Scarface.
I ain't wrong yet.
Oh, man.
But I'm watching. I was like, okay, that's noticeable. I'm gonna see.
Yeah, but hey, Denver is gonna look, man, because I don't know how they're gonna move forward with their starting line, but I know that their best players are all 6'10" or better, and that's a major problem because they're not 6'10" with back to the basket, you know, like Jahlil Okafor. They're 6'10" and I can get the rock, the rebound. And how long have I been preaching this? And I know Kyle is watching. And remember that time that we did our top 5 power forwards and we was out there at Central Park and I said Blake Griffin is in my top 5 because he could grab a rebound and push, and that puts extreme pressure on the defense. Now your whole entire front court can do that. There's no team in NBA history that has been able to have all 3 front court players do that and pull it from 3, make a no-look pass, do whatever they want with the ball. They're gonna win a championship, bro. Y'all heard it here
over who though? Over who though? With the Clippers in the near future, but you still got the LeBron and Lakers last couple of years, Steph them coming back. And I just see
Giannis might go to the Warriors.
Hey, look,
yeah, Giannis with the Warriors, the Bucks. I see more teams over the Nuggets.
Nah, look. I'm gonna tell you like this. Golden State is closer to the end than they are the beginning. And I'm not saying that next year is the end. No. They're still gonna be competitive, but they're not still the same dynasty that they once were. And if they get Giannis, okay, that changes the discussion. Like when they got Kevin Durant, okay, that changes everything. But if we're talking still their same core, they're going to be able to get got. LeBron, as much as I love LeBron, and y'all already know I love LeBron, probably the most on here on Dead End Sports, the man is in his 17th year, and the decline is for real. He's not the same.
So this is the first time he's admitting that there's a decline.
No, I've always said that.
No, I'm just saying,
I'm just saying his decline. No, Nick. No, Nick, because you're not gonna misquote the hell I be saying. I'm just saying. What I've always said is that LeBron has been at such a high level that when he declines a step or a step and a half, he's still on par, or if not better than everybody else still in the league. So even though he's misstepping now, that's just a misstep for LeBron. It ain't no misstep for everybody else. So LeBron is still playing at the highest level. He's still the best basketball player in basketball right now. But I have also said AD without a LeBron, right? arguably one of the most skillful guys, but he's not the number one guy. And I've said that.
He's just a star.
He's a superstar. He got superstar ability. He's not an X factor.
He's not a superstar. He's not a superstar then. I don't care what kind of synonyms you want to use.
That's cool. He's better than playoff P.
Is that saying much?
Well, you said that you rather have playoff P. That's the only reason why I'm bringing it up.
You comparing.
That's the only reason. I'm just shutting your shit down, Nick. That's all I'm doing.
All right.
In terms of who else did you say, Q? That the Bucks. The Bucks are one man.
The Bucks and the Clippers, yeah.
The Clippers are nice, but look, we're talking about exactly. You're talking about two of the most unhealthy superstars in the league, right? So that's a big ass question mark. How long are they gonna last? How cohesive can they be? Obviously, I love Doc Rivers in the front office and everything that they're doing, but how long can they actually keep all of that together and be healthy? I don't know. Big question marks. The Bucks, Giannis is still not played big in a big game. And I'm not saying
the Nuggets haven't either, though.
Huh?
But the Nuggets haven't either. And who are you going to give it to in the clutch for the Nuggets? That's why we're still with them.
Michael, and I'm obviously projecting, but have I not been high?
Look, I'm a fan of MPJ.
And I've been high on Michael Porter. I've been high on Michael Porter Jr. for a very long time. So this isn't coming out of left field like I'm just pulling this shit out of my ass. Y'all already know, out of everybody here, I'll be watching all these young guys and be saying, hey, this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. I'm not saying I'll bat 1,000, but Michael Porter Jr. is going to be that go-to guy for them. He is their scorer. Bol is going to be their everything in terms of, like, he's not Kevin Durant mobile, but he's mobile enough and lanky enough to be able to keep smaller players in front of him. And then he's 7'2" with a 7'8" wingspan. He's going to get blocks. He was blocking jump shots, bro. Closing out, just playing like 4 or 5 feet and getting the block on the jump shot. He's going to be able to do that. And then Nikola Jokic, he proven, we know what he is. You can run your offense right through him. He's a big body. He's going to be able to get rebounds. He's the most unselfish center that's a dominant center in the league. So with all of that, obviously they still got to get other pieces in the future, this, that, and the third. But I think with that core of Bol, Nikola Jokic, and Michael Porter Jr., all of them 6'10" or better, I've never seen that.
Jamal Murray at?
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly. I would have told you Murray for the clutch shots.
Yeah,
I like Jamal Murray, and he complements what they do because he doesn't have to be a point guard. Like, he could just score. All of the offense could be ran through all of those other guys, like in terms of passing and doing all of that.
FIFO, you need to wash your hands because you did pull out that out of your ass. you literally got on here and just said in 5 years, Denver Nuggets not only are going to redefine basketball in NBA history, but Michael Porter Jr. is going to be their go-to clutch guy. When you literally just called out the Clippers for having the two most hurt superstars, let alone you talking about a rookie who a player on his rookie deal who I haven't seen play a full season yet.
Here's the thing, though. There are different points in their careers, right?
And you're guaranteeing this. You said he started saying it's guaranteed they're going to win a title. I never said that before.
Denver's going to win a title at some point. At some point, they're going to win the title.
Wait, you said the next 5 years?
Because he ain't say the first year. He ain't say the second year.
Because right now
he said damn shit out the third year.
Right now, you sounded like Trump. At some point.
Now you saying at some point.
Exactly. You said, I was like, damn, when is it then? I can say shit too.
Look. Golden State obviously is still a formidable threat. LeBron is still formidable. The Clippers are still formidable. The Bucks are still formidable. But in the next 2 years, all of those teams ain't going to look the same. They're just not within the next 2 years. Michael Porter, yes, he's battling injury, right? But they're also allowing him to get back to that point. And he is is he a rookie this year?
He's on his rookie deal still.
He's still on his rookie deal.
It's the second year.
Yeah, he's just in the second year. So with that being said, is that he still has time. Kawhi and PG don't have the same amount of time, dog. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 years for the both of those guys.
Winning,
but Nick, with the type of injuries that Kawhi and PG have had, those type of injuries allow those type of players to fall off a cliff at some point. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen. It's possible.
What's the injury that Michael Porter Jr. has?
He had a bad back.
Bad back?
His back.
The bad back destroyed someone's career before?
Larry Johnson. Johnson.
But those things typically happen later on in their career.
So you think it's going to get better because it's happening early?
No, what I'm saying is that he'll be able to play through it through the time that they need him to be one of their best players.
Okay. They only got an exoskeleton and then they replace his back with some shit.
Hey, FIFO, it happened to Larry Johnson in his prime, right? When he signed that 12-year, $84 million deal. It just depends. We don't know what Michael Porter is going to be. I know he's the most talented player, not the most talented, but one of the most talented players I've ever seen when he's healthy. We just don't know if he's going to be healthy. That team is the second most talented team in the league right now, behind the Clippers, because they loaded.
Super loaded.
Why you laughing, kid?
This dude BL said it depends on how much. It's only funny if you follow politics, but he said at some point the other teams are going to magically disappear and the Nuggets will win the championship.
No, they're not going to disappear. They just won't be the same teams.
I'm just saying, bro. That's your most wildest take on Dead End Sports, bro. Eventually, the Nuggets will win. That's it.
It's not the wildest.
Yeah, 2031.
Hey, FIFO, come 2025, I'm gonna come holler at you, man. If that don't happen, come 2025, FIFO.
Don't play this clip.
I'm like, yo, FIFO. Yo, what up with the Nuggets, baby?
Man.
Just like, oh boy, I'm gonna be right at some point. I'm gonna be right. Just wait it out.
2031 champs, baby.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, I be projecting a lot. I be right about a lot of shit. I'm not saying I'm about 1,000.
People, I get it though.
Right. I know.
I get it though. I like that team too. I like them. They not playing up to par right now though. I don't think that they playing where they should be. But then again, this is asterisk season, so we're not gonna count it. But we're gonna see what they do in the next couple of years.
Don't try to slide that in, Shelton, bro. You don't even want to say that.
No, but Shelton, look, first of all, they're
so where's Zion gonna be in 5?
That's what I was saying. I don't have Zion over them.
Them Memphis, but Denver's gonna have years and experience on them.
Okay.
Denver has already played in the playoffs.
I feel you. No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disagreeing.
You know what I'm saying? I think Zion at some point is probably gonna be the best player in the league. At some point, I don't know when. But he's not even scratching the surface. He's physically dominating grown ass men. Like outside of LeBron, I haven't seen that year one. And I like how their team is.
Wait, let's back up. All right, so you said Zion's going to be at some point the best player in the league. So let's look 5 years ahead. So we have Zion, Ja. Those are the two that are balling right now, right?
That's the first time they're going to have their big contract.
That's
what year is Amani coming in?
He's class of
2022, I believe. Yeah. Well,
so you don't think he can push him for that? Y'all talk highly about him.
For Zion, he could.
Best player in the league?
He could potentially, but I think it's going to be like a LeBron KD type of thing. I think Amani's more KD and Zion's more LeBron.
Okay.
So I think they both can, it depends on who you ask. Like some people still think KD's a better basketball player than LeBron.
He isn't?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
You said no, Quincy?
No. Yeah, no, he's not. Overall,
he's a better overall basketball player than LeBron does.
He's a better scorer than LeBron.
That's overall.
But
that's included in the overall.
Why do you say that? Why do you disagree with that, Quincy?
Just not the passer. And I think LeBron is a better team defender than a KD as well. Those are my
I don't know about that one.
KD busted his ass. What are you talking about?
That was unfair. Like
that's unfair.
He went and got the fucking Avengers.
Exactly.
When he came down.
The only reason I agree with y'all is because I think that LeBron has taken winning everywhere he go. And I ain't saying that KD can't. It's just that we've seen LeBron do it more often, as far as being a winner.
Exactly.
Now, and then KD is a better scorer though.
Being a winner, he only one ring up on KD. I seen him lose more than win.
Yeah, but come on, man. Those were
what?
The finals go through.
Those are not for the title. Those are not for the title.
The finals go
those didn't matter.
It does matter because
that's what I'm saying. If they matter, then why?
Because the championship don't go through KD. The championship go through LeBron.
Those were participation.
The championship. When the last time the championship went through LeBron?
Those were participation.
In the last decade, LeBron showed up 9 times, bro.
And how many he won?
It doesn't matter. It goes through him. If you want to win, you gotta beat him. Just like if you want to win against me and Maddie, you gotta score 30. Nick, did you score 30?
I've seen.
Nick, did you score 30?
I did not score 30.
So you KD and I'm LeBron. So it's a wrap.
Hold on, people. Did you win a Super Bowl?
It doesn't matter.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question.
It's a new season.
All right, okay.
It's a new season.
So titles don't matter as long as you win.
It's a new season.
That's your logic. I guess.
It's a new season. Hey, Jerry West, the logo. He ain't never won a chip.
KD's a better player than LeBron.
I'm about to say, don't mention Jerry West.
Jerry West won one chip.
Well, KD's hurt, so I can't say that. I gotta want that, man. KD is.
We gotta see what KD leg gonna do when he come back, though.
KD gonna be fine. I'm not worried about KD.
I'm just saying everybody ate in LeBron era. I don't know who didn't.
So who better, KD or LeBron?
LeBron's better. KD's definitely a better scorer though. Better scorer, better shooter than Bron, but everything else, every other facet of the game, LeBron is because LeBron can go out the game and like teams discombobulate. But like KD can go out and you can kind of manage. I mean, you probably have to, pick up some scoring loads from other players, but that's it. That's just scoring. But when LeBron is out the game, it's like IQ levels for other players just go down when LeBron. That's how impact LeBron be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I gotta go.
How can you say that though, B? Because
it's true though.
When KD left the Thunder, they ain't do shit. They discombobulated.
When it was still a playoff team. No, Nick, they were still a playoff team.
Barely, but it made it.
No, ain't no barely. But they still Nick. When LeBron left Cleveland was the worst team in the freaking league. He got back there and they was back in the finals. Like, come on.
I'm only talking about when you talk about break up or like be worse.
Even just playing, like, even in the game, if LeBron subs out, the IQ levels for teams just go down, man. I mean,
hey, KD ain't playing with the Nets right now, and they ain't shit. All right,
but KD haven't played with them yet, though.
They about to get the playoffs.
I'm just saying, KD's presence is felt not just as much as LeBron, but close. And as an overall basketball,
that's what makes Bron better. You said just as much. You didn't say
it's not close, Nick. It's not that.
Overall, I'm talking. Well, I'm getting off of that point. Overall, as a player, I'd rather have KD than LeBron.
It depends on my roster.
Yeah,
any roster.
But if I'm starting from scratch and you tell me that I have to win now, I'm taking LeBron over KD.
I'm taking KD.
But if you give me, just depending on what is on the roster already, I may take KD over LeBron.
Does KD know how to win?
Nope.
I think so. I think he learned that in Golden State.
Nah, he didn't win. He didn't learn that
when he drained them threes in LeBron's eye.
Because all KD had to go to Golden State for was to play a role. He was not a leader.
The role as the best player.
No.
What do you mean? No, he was not the best player on those Warriors.
But he wasn't a leader on that team.
How is he? So KD's not a leader.
Just because you score the most points doesn't mean that you're a leader on that team.
He wasn't a leader on that team at all.
No.
Draymond
proved that.
He had a specific role to play, and he played it, and that was it. That was all that was.
Draymond proved that the Warriors would rather leave to cut his ass out to KD. That's what Draymond proved. Because when he started talking at the best player, they was like, "Nigga, you need to calm your ass down because you ain't the best player. You ain't the reason why we won 2 rings."
Does KD know how to win, Shelton?
I think KD. We'll see this year. Put it that. That's to be determined. To go to a team that's already kicking your ass and winning is not really making
yes or no, Sheldon. We ain't waiting until next year. We ain't gonna see no season for a while. Yes or no? Let me
ask you this.
I know, right?
I would probably say no, Ken, to answer your question.
I would say no.
I would say, listen, no, hold up. Because no way you should be up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals with a good team. We ain't talking about no bums. We're talking about a solid team. You're up 3-1. You got to put them out. That's knowing how to win. So to answer your question, Ken, I would say
LeBron ain't do that when he played the Heat. I mean, the Mavs in 2011.
Would you say Q?
Would you say break down?
Yeah. So that wasn't college for KD like Miami was for LeBron. That wasn't college. He learned how to win, and then gonna translate that over to another team.
How's that? Yeah, how's that different?
So this was gonna be my question. Who wins a title first, KD or LeBron? I put my money on LeBron.
KD because he's in the East.
Who wins?
He said KD because he's in the East. He said KD because
or LeBron.
Well, KD's hurt though. It's unfair.
That's true too.
Okay, fine. Take out this season, right? Let's take this season out. Starting from next season on, regardless of LeBron wins this year or not. From next season on, who wins another title first? KD or LeBron?
KD.
I think LeBron.
Probably KD. Because I think LeBron will be a little bit older.
You just said he's declining as the years go on.
I feel you. And his decline is still better than almost everybody else.
But it's not as better than KD.
He's still as good as KD.
That injury though, Shelton and B have always pointed it out. We still don't know. Like that injury could be.
Yeah, it could be the detriment.
Yeah. It could be. It could age him a lot.
Achilles has messed up players' careers, man. Like that Achilles is no joke.
And KD moved like a guard. So we got to see if he can keep that up.
So Quincy, what's your answer? Is KD a winner? You think KD a winner?
I think he.
How is this even
I think he's going to be a winner with the Nets. I think he's going to be a winner with the Nets.
He's not a winner.
That's not the question, bro. That's a no. Yes or no, bro.
If you're asking me if I count his championships and if I count his past performances as being a winner, I would say no. But I think going to the future, I would say yes.
Thank you.
He don't know how to win, bro.
He don't know how to win? But what he wants. So hold on. How is all right, bro? Because I feel like Will Ferrell and Zoolander. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. The nigga won twice.
I feel
was Finals MVP twice.
I feel like
you're the only person on this show
Avengers.
that have watched Zoolander. Okay, how about we start there?
Hey, Nick,
look at the chat. Somebody in the chat represent Zoolander out here.
Hey, KD is an assassin, but it's really easy. It's kind of like,
easy.
Let me say this. When I was a kid, if I knew I had my boy behind me,
being a Finals MVP easy.
No. It's easy for him, yes. When you know you got support behind you, it's a little bit more easy for you to kind of get off.
LeBron has support in Miami. LeBron has support in Miami.
Not like Golden State.
He has support in Cleveland.
Not like Golden State.
He has support in Cleveland.
Not like Golden State.
Come on. Why are we giving these excuses, LeBron? I'm losing my voice.
Nick. KD went to a 73-9 team, dude. When
LeBron went to Miami with D Wade and Chris Paul.
But Miami wasn't a playoff. They was barely a playoff.
Those were the best three players in the East.
They were barely a contending team when he went to Miami. The year before LeBron went there, it wasn't like
because of a record.
It wasn't like Miami. It wasn't like he went to Miami and they was one win away from being in the finals. Miami was like D Wade was getting tired of carrying that team, so it wasn't like LeBron went to fool's gold.
He was getting tired, but what was that meme between LeBron and D Wade? That's forever
that's
gonna be a meme.
That's
he's
like
throwing it up to the backup and LeBron dunking it.
Hey Nick, that's equivalent.
Being tired.
That's equivalent. Bro. That's equivalent to Brian.
About here.
That's equivalent to Brian going to Boston after losing to Boston all them times at Cleveland. Come on, guy. What you talking about?
But at the time when LeBron said I'm taking my talents to South Beach, did everybody say, "Oh, this is a fair thing to do"?
Yeah, because Miami wasn't a powerhouse.
No,
if he would have went to Boston, we would have been like, "Oh hell no, that's a sucker move."
And it was the best thing to happen to basketball.
It is the best thing to happen to LeBron. It ain't the best thing to happen to basketball.
It was the best thing to happen to basketball for a couple of reasons. Number one, it empowered every other player to make whatever decision that they wanted to make. That's number one.
Okay, morality. Go ahead.
Number two, it also empowered the players to create their own destiny. Number three,
that's the same point.
The ratings,
go ahead.
It doesn't matter. They're 1A, 1B. And I'm gonna use semantics. Number three, the ratings for that Miami Heat team were
talking about ratings. I thought we were talking about ratings leadership. What the ratings got to do with this shit?
Ratings equal money. So the reason why Golden State was even able to sign KD was because of the fucking TV deals that Miami was able to generate 5-6 years ago, bro. So the only reason why you even saying all this stuff about KD was because LeBron made the move to Miami. Because if that didn't happen, the salary cap wouldn't be where it's at.
And for the record,
let me ask y'all a quick question.
Real quick, and I'll have to see something. They said that Miami did not make the playoffs the year before LeBron got there.
Get that shit out of here, Nick.
Go ahead, Shelton.
They did make the playoffs.
What I was talking about.
That was one of your points.
No, I said that he went to the Miami with the top three players.
You said he went to Miami, which was a playoff team before.
Miami was a playoff team. Whoa. They were a playoff team. I'm a Heat fan.
They saying in the chat he wasn't.
That's when they lost to Boston. They lost to Boston in the first round, bro.
That's what they said in the chat.
Either way, that Miami team was not 73.
I'm about to fact check this.
Hey, quick question to y'all, and it's something that I thought about. Speaking of KD and LeBron, which both jumped on these super teams, starting with LeBron. He the first one to start that run into the, get help. They say that out of this bubble, we're going to see the next super team come because these guys are in this closed, confined area. And what y'all think about that? You think that that's going to really happen because of this?
Yeah, Giannis talking to Steph right now in Bible study.
But here's the thing. I think anytime that you get a whole bunch of players congregating, things like this happen, right? Whenever you play USA basketball, whenever you're at an all-star team, you have these not just text or even FaceTime conversations. Like I'm literally in your presence and I'm like, hey, bro, I'm tired of doing this wherever the hell I'm at. Yo, do you want to come here or where can we go together so we can, get this thing off? Which is the reason why Kawhi and PG, they chose the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that the bubble is going to be the sole cause of it, but yeah, whenever you have a whole bunch of players at, this type of level and they could congregate and make moves, they're going to make moves. And again, LeBron showed that you can empower yourself to be like, look, this is my contractual obligation on my final year. I'm bouncing. So either you're going to trade me to where I want to go, or I'm going to just go where I want to go. What you want to do?
So when KD left to go to Golden State, that was a sign of weakness and not empowerment based off of LeBron did. And as you mentioned, as far as opening that door.
No, I think that from a player perspective, right? It was 100% empowerment. From KD's perspective, it was super weak because you went to the best team when you had that team.
LeBron allowed
when you had that team down 3-1, and if you are a winner, you either run that shit back with OKC or you go somewhere else that you feel that you can beat Golden State. Well, then, you don't add to Golden State. Why?
Well, then why didn't we have that same energy by saying, LeBron, you should have stayed in Cleveland like Jordan did and just thug it out until you get your title?
Because you know what? The thing that we saw about
that won 60 games.
Because the thing about that documentary that we saw, and as much as people hate Jerry Krause was on fucking point when it came to player personnel and also getting the right head coach at the time, right? Like he had Doug Collins, and Doug Collins allowed Jordan to establish himself as a player in the NBA, to establish his dominance. Like, yo, I'm one of the best, and can't nobody out here stop me. And then he went and got Phil Jackson to make it a team thing. He also drafted Horace Grant, traded or signed Dennis Rodman, obviously drafted Scottie Pippen. He did a lot of stuff. What did Cleveland do for LeBron? Oh, crickets. Yeah, exactly what happened when he was there.
So I
understand the reason why he left. Because they didn't do nothing as an organization to prove that, hey, we're going to be a title contender. That organization did nothing for him.
So
it's Juan Jameson.
I have another point. But I going back to NFL, this is the last one I got. Keenan Allen just called out Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, and Chris Godwin over this Madden shit, the Madden ratings. His tweet was, and he said, okay, I'm tired of biting my tongue. He's fighting. He called out again Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. He said, and the list goes on, capital letters, are not a better receiver than me. Faster than me every day of the week, but separation. Child, please, caps. And then Mike Evans responded. He said, first of all, you tagged the wrong Chris Godwin. And don't be mad at us. We ain't make the rankings nor care about them. I like the confidence, but be realistic. You ain't on my level, bro. And then Chris Godwin said, he said, oh shit, LOL. Don't sweat it, G. Chris Godwin ain't better than me either. At least the nigga that he tagged. So yeah. And Tyreek Hill and Tyreek Hill, he enjoyed that I guess he's on their side too, because he liked both of those responses. So how do y'all feel about Keenan Allen?
Keenan is better than Tyreek Hill.
No,
he's just not fast. He's just not fast.
Than Chris Godwin, though. He better than Chris Godwin.
He's just not fast.
I don't know how good Chris Godwin is, because this past season he showed out. I want to see if he could do that again before I say he ain't better.
He did it his rookie year.
But I'm saying consistently.
And he did it again. Yeah. That's consistent enough for me. I think he can do it a third time. Yeah. Either way, I don't know about Chris Godwin, but I could I think he's better than
Keenan Allen. As an overall, Keenan Allen throw them numbers just like Tyreek throwing them numbers. He's not as fast, but he throwing them numbers too.
Yeah. But
Mike Evans has about, I think it's 14 more TDs. He has almost like 800 more yards, even though Keenan
he ain't better than Mike Evans. Mike Evans is a top 5 wide receiver.
Nah, Chris Godwin, he's gaining on him. Chris Godwin has half his receptions in half the game. I mean, half his touchdowns in half the game. So,
well, part of that is because his counterpart is Mike Evans getting those double teams, so it'll be easy for you to score. Which is that issue with Julio not scoring touchdowns because I'm getting double triple team. So the Calvin Ridleys and all those other players, they score a lot more just because I'm just getting all that attention. I think it is interesting though. I think Keenan Allen, if we're talking about like the art of the wide receiver, I would say he's probably better than all of those, just like with nuance and stuff like that, gaining that separation. But I think when we're looking at like a Madden rating, those other guys are going to be higher rated because they have physical things that Keenan Allen just doesn't have. So I think Mike Evans is on the upper echelon out of all of those guys.
He was the truth in college.
Yes. He's upper echelon.
He's still the truth.
He made Baker Mayfield.
Yep, he sure did. And he made Johnny Manziel.
Yep.
Yeah. And then when I look at Tyreek, like I told y'all, like when we did the Madden podcast, I feel Tyreek naturally is a 90 or 92 rating. But the reason why he's 99 is because Pat Mahomes allows him to expand his ability. Because if he was with a decent encore, if he was with Kirk Cousins, right? And we saw even Stephon did, like, you can't get the ball where I need you to get me the ball. Pat Mahomes allows you to run 70 yards downfield and the ball's going to be right here. So that's partly why Tyreek is as good as he is in the game. But Keenan Allen, like I said, against those other three, or Godwin and Tyreek, I think he has more nuance.
Where is he ranked the top 10 wise?
Keenan Allen?
Yeah, is he in your top 10?
Oh, we're receivers in the league? Oh, yeah. He's definitely top 10.
Is he top 8, top 7?
I would have to sit down. I would have to sit down and look at the wide
receivers. I would say
Keenan
Allen's the top 7 wide receiver.
So we got Mike, Julio, Hopkins,
OBJ.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill.
Mike Evans.
Mike
Evans. I say Tyreek Hill is up there. You just got to put it there. You can't help me.
In my opinion.
Yeah, you can't help who he play.
Tyreek ain't top 5. He's top 8.
Top 5.
He's top 8.
He's top 5, man.
Tyreek is top 8 at
higher in terms of just impact on the game. You got to keep eyes on him.
People just laid out that he gets 7 extra Madden points just because of the quarterback. So we don't really know what Tyreek is as a wide receiver by himself, or over with a decent to good quarterback.
I bet you defensive players are scared of him though. Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Adams too.
Yeah, they scared of his speed.
Oh, Devontae Adams. Yeah.
Yep, Devontae.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What about Adam Thielen? Cooper Kupp?
Adam Thielen top 10, but he ain't top 8.
I think Keenan could be top 8 for sure. He probably rubbing against that top 5.
I think he's 7.
You know who I think is gonna have?
Michael Thomas. How we leave out Michael Thomas?
AJ Green's a quitter. We don't talk about him.
Chill out, man.
Michael Thomas is probably number 1. We left him off. I don't know how we did.
Oh yeah.
Michael Thomas. So you say Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver in the league?
I think so. I mean, 150 receptions. I don't see how you could top him. I love Julio. I think Julio is up there.
But did y'all say DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
Yeah. DeAndre is probably 3, but it's hard to argue with 150 receptions. It's hard to argue with that.
Knowing that everybody he's the only wide receiver legit on the Saints.
No matter. You can't cough at you can't just cough at 153 receptions, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that makes his case even more because everybody knows the ball going to him.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I mean,
right.
Top 10.
And on one of these rankings, it's got Michael Thomas number 1, Julio Jones number 2, and Tyreek Hill is the 3rd ranked receiver in the league according to this ranking.
Wow, that's insane.
That's NFL. That's CBS Sports.
Well, Quincy, you disagree with Shelton about Michael Thomas?
Yeah, I think he should be at least 3 or 4, man.
Whoa.
So his route tree just isn't expanded like everybody.
It ain't expansive.
What?
It's not expansive, man. When's the last time you seen Michael Thomas run a fly? You see him run slack and post, man. It's real consistent. He really doesn't break that route tree. When
Same recipe.
He runs a lot of ins and outs. He runs a lot of ins and outs.
What is that?
Same recipe, same cake. If you can't be stopped, don't stop doing it.
I understand it, but he just doesn't have that. What I like from a wide receiver that can do it all. To be in my top 2, you got to be able to do it all, man.
You know what though, Q? He might can do it.
In my top 2.
Who's might your top do 2? It. He just hadn't had to.
Julio and D-Hop.
And that's cool, but then Michael Thomas is number 3 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't put 150 receptions at number 3 no day of the week though. I'm not mad at the top. I'm not mad at the top 2, but like I said, it's just so hard to say 150 receptions is 3. I don't see how you can put anything above that.
You know what you're putting above that, Shelton, is physicality. The level of physicality that Julio plays with, nobody has, number 1. And then you're talking about consistency regardless of who's throwing the ball, D-Hop. You know what I'm saying? So physically, those 2 guys have something that Michael Thomas just does not.
But
Michael Thomas had 2 quarterbacks this year. He had Drew Brees was out for about how many games? 5?
And Taysom Hill too. So he got 3 of them.
Yeah. So he like I said, he did his thing this year to me.
I'm saying because of what you just said, Michael Thomas has not only I think he has a better route tree than Q was saying, but also he's got the receptions and he's got the touchdowns to match. Like, what more can you ask of a wide receiver than Michael Thomas? Like, you talking about the whole physicality, but he's either at number 1 or number 2. I'll give you Julio just because if I'm developing a wide receiver, Julio's my guy.
Yes.
But Michael Thomas is like, I would put him over D-Hop just because of production alone.
Here's the thing.
Hey,
I don't think that those three, as long as they're your top three, whatever order you put them in, you're not wrong. Because you could make an argument for number one on any of those three or number three on any of those three.
Mhm.
So you're not wrong as long as that's your top three. Now you put OBJ in your top three and take one of those 2 or 3 guys out, you got some head problems. But those are the top 3 wide receivers in the league. Julio, Michael Thomas, D-Hop, and whatever order you want to put them. Order is personal preference.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask y'all a question. You think DeAndre Hopkins is better than Devontae Adams? As far as not talent-wise, but I'm saying performance-wise.
Yes.
I think he should be being in consideration for top 6 though, just for how much impact he has on the field, being the only wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers. He could be considered top 6 easily.
I would say I wouldn't be mad if he top 6.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, as far as fantasy football, which that ain't what we got to go by, but looking at it, he was 88% to DeAndre Hopkins 12% when they go head to head. So Devontae is beating DeAndre, and part of that could be the quarterback comparison that we talk about all the time. So, I guess that's something to do with it too. But I watched Devontae a lot this year, and that dude is a beast. He a straight beast. So
he's physical.
And he don't drop passes either.
Nope.
At all. So I ain't mad at that at all. But we know. Go ahead.
He wasn't even picked. Was he? Definitely wasn't a first round because we talked about that stat. He was a late pick too. Like he was a steal for the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that guy plays ball every week though. He's there every week, and like I said, I had him on my fantasy team last year, and he never let me down. He was gonna play if he wasn't hurt. He was gonna play.
So Major League Baseball had an outbreak, and they had an emergency meeting today about it. They're still playing right now, but 14 people in Florida on that team caught that shit.
Yeah, the Marlins. It was like
coaches.
I thought it was 15 people.
It was at least 11 players, 2 coaches. I know that.
Yeah, I'm about to say coaches got some of the coaches got it too.
They had to cancel the games between they even had to cancel the teams that they just played. Like I think it was New York, Philly, and someone else, some other team. But yeah, the Marlins.
I think it was Boston.
Yeah, Boston probably.
So does that mean that the teams that they just played,
they got to quarantine too.
They got to quarantine them and go back 14 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because they were just in. I think they were just in Boston, and they, they're all in the dugout. They're all in the hotels. Everywhere they were, they got to kind of get it sanitized, I guess, prepare for the next team. So,
because they're not in a bubble, they're like going from city to city, right?
Yeah, they still traveling. They're the test tube for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't a good look for the NFL because they got those the little shields, like the little mouthpieces. I think they were talking about playing with the NFL. I forgot what they call them, but yeah, I think I guess we'll see if there's another outbreak of this magnitude in the next week or so. I mean, as a commissioner, as all of them have said, you got to anticipate positive tests. So it's a matter of, can they control it from here on out, or will you see some version of herd immunity take place, as they continue to play these games for the next month? But it must have been really serious, and they called an emergency meeting and was talking about trying to shut it down. And Connor Pearson Ward said the Yankees quarantine because they played the Phillies, and he said Boston is fine. But yeah, he said they only play Philly, and they play Philly and Philly. So appreciate that. Plus, y'all were wrong about Miami. Miami apparently did make the playoffs, but I hope you're right, because the other ones led us astray. But either way, nevertheless, man, like I've been waiting to kind of see what happens with Major League Baseball. It still kind of sort of looks weird to see them out there, playing. They look tentative. They look a little tight. They haven't quite loosened up yet, but I think they will over time.
Did you see the cutouts in the stands of the people they got?
One of them got hit with a baseball.
Are y'all serious?
Yeah.
Yes, they have cutouts. My daughter was like, "Look, those are dogs they got out there." So they had cutouts of people, and they have the crowd noise, I think, in there too. So
that crowd noise is weird, man. Because it's like on one it was a podcast I was listening to. They were trying to mirror like Madden and 2K crowd noise. So I think that's an interesting idea to try to use AI to generate crowd noise. But how do you do that? Because that's programmed into the game. So, but they working it out. But that shit sounded weird as hell. Yeah, weird as hell. Also, who put this in the chat about the WNBA players? Was that UB?
No.
About them walking out?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you mean a YouTube chat. My bad. Yeah. I did.
Yeah. What happened with that? I didn't get a chance to fully read it. Did you check it out?
Yeah. It was pretty much the national anthem was playing, and the players just walked off while the national anthem was going on. They came back on the court before to start the game.
Damn, man, that's so cold.
Pretty much open and shut case at that point.
Blooded. Yeah. And I saw an article that Kyrie and maybe a few other players have started a fund. Yeah, for the WNBA players who
for their salaries.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man. That's
dope.
A
lot of NBA players when they were starting their scrimmage and stuff, they were having like shirts and stuff wearing a period that was like supporting the WNBA and everything. It was dope. Russell Westbrook wore something. Like it was dope, man. Like a lot of players were showing support.
That's dope. I remember Ivory saying how they were kind of separate in the beginning, but now the players are starting to show a lot more support. So I think that's a real cool thing.
And Ken, it was both teams that walked off. It wasn't just one. It was both Liberty and the Storm. So both teams walked off when the national anthem started playing.
Look, man, I've dated my fair share of women, and I'm only speaking about the ones that I've dated. But when them motherfuckers are fed up.
Ain't no rules. Ain't no rules.
You're in trouble.
Fed up.
You are in trouble. And so
ain't no protocol.
No protocol. Nah. And they were like, man, when they turn their back and walk out on you, see the WNBA lucky they came back.
Right.
That's only for the check.
They came back and played.
Well, that's the only time I'm gonna come back. Well, you got that check. You say
I was just playing. I don't like that song.
Hey, did you see what Mike Dicker said though? The
man, bro.
He been like that. He always been against Cap though, so that's not surprising.
With a name like Mike Dicker, I did not expect anything less. That nigga really said it.
Yeah, he's always said slick shit about Cap though, ever since Cap started kneeling. So him saying that,
to leave the country.
Wasn't surprising.
He's running by the way, that the lingerie league I always talk about. He's over it now. It's called the X League or something like that. Is what it's called. But that's the lingerie league.
Do you guys think do you guys think the MLB will finish the season? What do you think, Quincy?
Not at all. I think too many tests, and I think, like y'all just said before, they had the same problems as the NFL, and I don't think the NFL will last this whole season. I think they will start. It will be a delayed start, but it will be coronavirus symptoms and test and positive tests and things like that throughout the season that cut it short. And the same thing for the MLB. So I can't see it. And
do you think the NBA should have played?
Yes.
You didn't want to give up the NBA.
I think it was better. I think it was better for the NBA because it was a more contained environment, like a bubble, and it ended up proving everybody right and proving the players right by having no coronavirus positive tests, man. So shout out to the NBA for that. And I think,
so do you agree with Shelton that this championship should have an asterisk by it?
No, because I think everybody is going through the same issues. So if everybody's going through the same issues, why are we having an asterisk? You know, so if everybody's on a level playing field, I don't think there should be an asterisk.
Oh, okay.
It's a level playing field, but it's not your normal season.
It's not.
That's the biggest thing.
But are we counting the asterisk by the what are we saying?
The Spurs?
The 66 games. So the lockout season. Are we counting that as an asterisk?
The Spurs. Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
No, he was also
the lockout.
The
most recent lockout.
The most recent lockout.
Lockout. But we don't never put an asterisk about that, and that wasn't normal circumstances. So if that's
that
was the Dallas championship, right?
Yeah.
But this one, like I said, with this one with a positive test, Joe, your start can be down like this. That's something that ain't no ankle injury. It ain't something that you could not have symptoms but be out. So this man went out the bubble to go get some wings, and he's out for 10 days. So no, you can't count this. This is not normal circumstances. How long has it been between the season and the playoffs? It's been months.
It's been like 3 or 4 months. Yeah, about 3 or 4 months.
If we started a new season under these conditions, I would say, well, maybe, but we starting the playoffs, and not just the playoff teams. We starting with expanded playoffs at that. So under new rules, new places, we're not there's no true home court advantage that would make a difference maybe. So I just don't see how we can count this as regular. I think it's good basketball, and I just don't see how we can count this as any other season. Even in the 66 game season, you played in your home arena. So it was still close to the regular thing, even though it was a shortened season, it was still a season. And you still had time to prepare. This one's a little different. It's kind of like that's why I say we can't play football, because we miss so much stuff in football. They've missed so many different important elements to football. I don't see how we can get a season in. I don't see how they can. Baseball, I don't think they can finish, but I'm glad that they at least started to try, but yeah, I think they'll finish this basketball thing. I really do.
You know what?
I don't count it.
I think, to answer Ken's question, this is not the NBA regular season. And because it's not the regular season, they're able to contain this in a bubble. And I think that, the NBA is doing the best job, but also they're in a different part of their season. If they were regular season, how do you contain everybody in a bubble? You're not going to put 30 NBA teams, staff, their entire roster in a bubble and just play games every other night or whatever. Like you're not going to do that, right? So when the regular season starts back up, how do they get past the challenges? The reason why they can do the bubble is because it's the playoffs, so it's a limited amount of teams. Yeah. But in the regular season, what's the plan then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But even the Lakers, for example, the Lakers team is not the team that it is now. Same thing with Brooklyn Nets. It's not even the same team. You know what I'm saying? So how can we count this when even though I'm not a Lakers fan whatsoever, you got J.R. Smith and Deion Waiters playing
all in today.
You know what I'm saying? They play good today, but still they're not your regular players. You can always say these dudes.
But they're only missing one guy from their regular roster, though, Shelton, in terms of the Lakers. And we already knew that the Nets were not an NBA championship contender, so it doesn't matter who they roll out there. It doesn't matter for the Nets.
And then let's look at the Clippers. How many players are missing from the Clippers roster right now that didn't start when everybody else started? So they're a little bit behind the 8 ball, whereas they were on a roll when the season ended. This is a whole nother thing.
But the Clippers have been behind the 8 ball in terms of chemistry and continuity all season. I think that starting lineup only played 11 or 12 games together out of the 60 some odd games that they played. So this is normal for them.
Yeah. They ain't trying to get his asterisk, Sheldon. They want LeBron to get his title, and no one say shit about it. That's what they want. All right, let them have it.
That's all it is.
You backtracking off the Clippers? You had Clippers.
I'm saying I'm just saying if LeBron wins, they just want to. That's why they don't want the season to have no asterisk. I don't care. So
somebody got to win. Man.
Well, either way, that's why I was asking you, Quincy. Those were two kind of like hot button issues that we've been talking about. I want to go back to the MLB. I just saw this, and I think this is interesting. So David Price, we know, opted out, and then he just tweeted today. Now we really get to see if MLB is going to put players' health first. Remember when Manfred said players' health was paramount? Part of the reason I'm at home right now is because players' health wasn't being put first. I can see that hasn't changed. Manfred addressed the tweet saying he disagreed with David's comments and that health was the most important issue to all of us, even though they continued to play. And then ESPN's Carl Ravitch noted Manfred has the authority to indefinitely pause and cancel the season. And he said that the commissioner acknowledged he would suspend play for a team if positive tests rendered it completely non-competitive, meaning that if they lost their superstar. Quincy, what are your thoughts on that situation?
Can you repeat that again? You kind of broke up.
Basically, David Price called out Manfred for what he feels that Manfred is not putting the players' health first, and that Manfred said they were that the player's health was paramount, but his actions, according to him, is saying otherwise. And Manfred came out, said he disagreed with what David Price was saying, but he did say that he would stop play if a player tested positive that rendered that team non-competitive. So basically, if a superstar catches it on a team, and he would basically say that they can't compete, so therefore they shouldn't even play.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think he cares about health at all. If that's his mentality, if everybody's still playing, because who caught the virus for the Marlins? Do we know the players that caught it?
Yeah, we don't know the origin of it. We don't know ground zero.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think he cares about it. And even if it was a superstar, I think it would still be going until multiple teams caught it.
He said they're going to stop it, though. And I think that's the thing that caught my attention. The fact that he said that if a superstar caught it, and just use something that, because I know a lot of people, it's hard to visualize superstars on Major League Baseball. So let's expand, this conversation a little bit, because the sixth man asked me this too. And so let's just say football, and let's just say basketball. If one of the stars that impacts that team, like Saquon, caught it, or LeBron, Kawhi, PG caught it, would that commissioner consider stopping the league? Because stopping those games, because that's what Manfred is saying. Is that right or is that wrong?
I think it would be a next man up mentality at that point, bro.
It should be, but that's not what he's saying.
Yeah, if you compromise, if Patty Mahomes said, "I'm not playing this year," NFL.
No, if he catches COVID and can't play. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, either way, if he catches it or he says he don't, they're going to shut down the league, because you can't have a season without his best player.
But I'm just saying, we're in season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick Mahomes is playing everything good. And that Friday, he tests positive for COVID and can't play. Manfred is saying, we're gonna stop the goddamn game.
They stopped it for Rudy Gobert for the NBA. They'll definitely stop it for one of their top players. I mean, even though Rudy Gobert isn't a top 5 or 10 player, he's enough to where it's this shit is serious. We got to stop.
I don't know.
It always takes a player that somebody you got to recognize for them.
Okay.
Shit's real.
Yeah. But to your point, though, they stopped it for just Rudy Gobert. No disrespect. Shout out to Nick. But that's not a superstar. That doesn't make the Jazz non-competitive. Manfred is saying,
but Jazz will.
Yeah, for the Jazz. Obviously, he's not their best player, but without Rudy Gobert, that's a completely
as long as they got
team.
Spider, they can.
Well, they stopped it for. They stopped it for the fear of the unknown. They didn't stop it because he got it.
Right.
So
but there were more questions about COVID when Rudy Gobert had it than we do now. We understand this more. We even have a vaccine now. You know what I'm saying? So when that happened,
what that's saying? Yeah,
this is the FIFO news.
No.
I know they're close to it, but I ain't know they had it.
They ain't got it yet.
No, I'm not saying it's out here for the public to consume.
They got it.
You're talking about the testing.
Yes.
Okay.
They have something that's very prominent right now in testing. That
Manfred need to get that shit and inject
himself.
They're said by winter this year we should have something for COVID.
But I'm just saying there's a big difference between Gobert, Patrick Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill, or Patrick Mahomes and Damian Williams, or better yet, Patrick Mahomes and fucking Joe Burrow. Or no, better yet, Patrick
Daniel
Mahomes
Jones.
And Danny. Yeah.
They ain't starting nothing up for no Danny Dimes.
They ain't stopping
Get out
the
of here with that.
They ain't stopping the NFL for Danny
I am telling you right now, Danny Dimes catch if he got the sniffles, the whole league getting shut down. I don't give a damn if he got sinus infection. Everybody saying, pack your bags. The NFL season will start in 2021.
But Manfred is like, yo, if Clay Kershaw's Mookie Betts, if Mookie Betts catches it for the Dodgers, when we gonna have to shut this shit down for 14 days. I don't know.
I don't believe him.
If they,
I said I don't believe him. I don't think he will stop.
I think there'll be too much
pressure on those comments.
There'll be too much pressure on from the media, from even the players to be like, what the fuck is y'all? Y'all say player safety is number 1 overall, yet y'all keep saying if one of them get it, shit, fuck it.
No, if one of them get it, fuck it. But if Mookie Betts get it, oh hell no.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't keep pushing the line of, it's just Mookie Betts. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep pushing that line, because then it's you're colliding with player safety.
But Mookie Betts makes them non-competitive if they don't have it for 14 days in the 60-game season.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that you can't, if player safety is key and one of our key players has gotten affected, then somebody's got to explain how we're still playing these
So
games.
it should be Mookie Betts. It should be
Mookie or bust.
Gavin Lutz, who's a rookie second baseman who nobody really knows. So you're saying like it should be any and everybody. So basically that when that outbreak happened, this shit should have stopped.
Yep, 100%. It should have canceled the Marlins season just like that.
But now that y'all letting it go,
oh shit, the Marlins season.
Yeah,
bro, you have 14 players to test
and
positive.
2 coaches.
Shut it down for 14 days. Not the season.
Okay, fine. But how do you make that up? Like, because
everybody else still playing.
That's like what, 8 games in 14 days that you played. So you're just gonna move all of that to the end?
Just shut down the whole league.
Okay, well then shut down the whole league
and resume later.
My thing is you can't keep moving the goalposts as far as like how serious you want to take this outbreak. If someone is getting it and y'all cool with it, then okay. But if someone key gets it and y'all not cool with it, then somehow in that line of player safety, y'all not
living be
up.
all or none.
Well, that's what David Price is kind of.
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't matter if you are a superstar or not. If one player has it, it needs to be taken seriously. And that.
But we understand that when it is a superstar, then yes, y'all should shut it down because obviously.
No, but even if it's not a superstar,
I'm saying they still playing now, so obviously don't give a fuck.
And that's the point that David Price is making.
Yeah.
And I agree with him. It doesn't matter if it's a superstar or a dude that don't never play. If somebody got it on this squad, we need to do whatever the plan is, but it shouldn't matter who gets it. It should just matter that somebody has it.
Right. Yeah. So if they're gonna continue to play the games, because how do you even play a game when you're missing 13 players?
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot play.
It don't make sense.
Yeah, you can't play it.
Or 11 plus coaches.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Damn. Okay. All right. Antoine said NFL stop it immediately if Dak get it. Gary Jones probably gonna spray that motherfucker with COVID.
Yep.
Yeah, Andy
Dalton in here. Mm-hmm.
Hey, the red rifle.
Oh man. Anyway. Appreciate you, man. Q, man. You came on a hot show, man. Everybody was hot today, boy.
We gotta get the thermometer and test out Nick.
Shit, you over here. I told you need to wash your hands. All right, that's what I told you.
Hey,
you got the Denver Nuggets winning sometime, and then you got Michael Porter Jr. being the savior of the Nuggets.
Hey, a lot of people are saying that Cam Newton, I forgot which player said it, but Cam is going to make New England forget about Tom Brady this year. Y'all think that's possible?
No. I think 100% healthy Cam Newton, possibly. But I don't know if we getting that. I don't know if we getting that.
Even if he did that shit, there's absolutely no way.
6 titles.
Yeah, 6 titles.
That
six
shit
titles,
is
bro. He ain't even won one. So
I agree.
What's the quarterback for the Steelers? Not Ben Roethlisberger, but the one that won all the Super Bowls before him.
Bradshaw?
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
They still talk about Terry Bradshaw, dog, and he ain't got nowhere near the career Tom Brady had. So Tom Brady is forever the GOAT in Boston. Forever the GOAT. Him and Larry Bird, the GOATs.
There's probably like 6 million kids named Tom. Yep. Boy or girl.
Or Brady.
In Boston.
Brady.
Yeah.
Or Brady.
Yeah, okay.
But here's the thing. I think that if Cam Newton has like a Superman season, they'll forget the last year that Tom Brady was there. They'll forget last year, but they're not gonna forget Tom Brady. Like
I think the question. Wait, I think y'all misunderstood the question. I mean, what about the teammates? His teammates? You think that they will be like feeling like they're better off without Tom?
Hell no, because it's Tom Brady. Those teammates probably won a title with the nigga. Yeah. So they looking at Cam like, you better do something.
Yeah. If Cam don't get into a Super Bowl
over here,
yeah, like if Cam don't get into a Super Bowl, then what is you doing? Yeah, Tom ain't doing.
To me, he has.
If you don't even give him a division, they don't even win division. They gonna look at him like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. He has the most pressure, damn near, just based off of just the team itself.
Yeah, I think not even the most internal pressure.
Not even like with the situation, whatever. Because right now, if you were looking at his contract, you wouldn't expect that much from a QB of that contract. But because he's Cam Newton, because it's New England Patriots, he's got so much pressure. I just hope he just gets to the playoffs.
And Bill Russell's the GOAT in Boston, not Tom or Larry Bird.
That's right. Get it right.
I saw somebody.
We get it right.
Yeah.
Get it right now. You
But
know,
he black, right, Ken?
You know how we get down.
But he black, right,
You know
Ken?
how we get down.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
A black man being the number one in Boston? That don't sound right to me. We need to check your temperature on that.
Shout out to Cornbread Maxwell too. You know, y'all leaving him off the list.
Oh yeah, he was cold. But yeah, what before we get out of here, Quincy, what are your thoughts on what Shelton just said?
My thoughts about Cam Newton.
Yeah, making people forget about Brady.
They're not gonna forget about Brady at all. You can forget about the past year, but you can't forget about the 6 rings. I mean, y'all all said it, so I agree with y'all. You can't forget about Brady. So, but I think Cam is gonna perform this season. I see it like a second round performance for Cam. I see them getting deep, like a 9-7, 10-6 season, but them definitely to the playoffs since the playoff has expanded to 7 teams. I definitely see them getting in and winning the division, honestly.
You think Cam coming back?
I think Cam coming back for real. I'm a Cam fan. That's my favorite player in the league. So I'm definitely biased. But yeah, I think he's coming back strong, bro. I've never seen Cam look this good. And just everything I'm seeing, obviously with all the videos he's posting, is obviously to show that he's looking good. But still, I've never seen Cam this motivated and like this battery is in his bag, bro. So I see a big season for Cam. But having no preseason for Cam is something that I'm worried about because I'm scared the first couple of games, it's not going to be fireworks.
For a lot of players.
As preseason games. Yeah, we have to treat the first couple of games like preseason games. So he's not going to come off right off the bats and be hot. But I think the more we get into the season, we're going to see not the old Cam Newton, but a new version of Cam. That will be exciting still.
So that's your favorite. You said that's your favorite player in the league?
Favorite player in the league. It was Steve Smith before he retired, man. Shout out Steve Smith.
Oh, okay. Do you write like Cam too?
Do I write? Oh, hell. I don't know. I hear.
You said you were a fan. I thought you'd be writing it.
Nah, man. I can barely read it sometimes, but no.
You ain't a real fan.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, man, we appreciate you coming through, man. Tell the people one more time before we get out of here where they can find you.
Yes, man. You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1 and Instagram at Q_and_E_podcast. And Facebook is Q&E Podcast. And we also have an interview with David Wilson, former New York Giant and former Virginia Tech Hokie. So if you want to check that out, definitely come over to the podcast platforms. You're going to look at our link tree on all of our social media platforms.
I got David Wilson.
David Wilson, yeah.
Hey, well, hey, he was supposed to be the first Saquon, damn it. Hey, I remember him. I hated how his career ended because of that shit. But hey, that man he was talking about speed.
Yeah,
man, track star, literally. But yeah, I'm gonna check that out, definitely.
All right, man, appreciate you. But yeah, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I hope to have y'all on our podcast as well, man. Return the favor, bro.
Oh, 100.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yes,
oh yeah, for sure, man.
The mic's gonna be hot.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we got to get your boy M on here too. Yeah, we gotta get him on.
No, man, respect. That's E, man. That's E. Okay, so
that's Martin. That's Martin. That's Marty.
I gotta give my bro respect on the pod, man. That's E. Shout out to Edgar.
E. Yes, we can go with E. We'll go with E.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for us, man. We'll catch you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Yep. Oh shit. Hey Shelton, did Eddie say anything about the show?
Did it come out?
I texted it to y'all.
Oh, I didn't see it. Cause I asked him, was he gonna be a guest? He said he'll tell me. He said let him check his schedule.